Hello and welcome to the Captain's Table, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Paul, Bazooka01, Batman Shelley, and this is the Captain's Table, where we have our community members from around the verse, experts.
Oops.
I just finished a freaking 16-hour stream, so I'm a little tired. But I got some stream. But you know, experts. I said experts on the tweet, but what I meant to say is experts. But we've got community members from all over Star Citizen here to discuss the latest goings on, possibly even ramble about, I don't know, random stupid things, because that's how we roll here at the Astro Pub, the Captain's Table. I want to start, before we start off introducing everyone, I want to start with a caveat that the subtitle of this podcast is always, we don't know shit, so don't assume that we know anything when we're talking. We don't know shit. We're just here for fans. So don't hold CIG to any of our standards, so you can confirm anything we say as being completely the mouth of CIG, because that's totally how this works. Anyways, we're starting off right across the way, the man, the myth, the Canadian, Nubifier. Who are you? Who are you? Where can they find you?
I'm the Nubifier. I'm a redacted YouTuber. I don't Twitch stream yet, but anyways, we'll talk about that later. I make no bullshit YouTube content about Star Citizen, and you can find me on YouTube at the Nubifier 1337.
Awesome. Ooh, wow, ouch, loud. Next we have, why is Moonshiner's thing all over the face?
Don't take that out of context.
What's that? What's on my face? No, that's just my face.
Oh. Maybe it's my.
I want to get that looked at.
Either way, yeah, I'm the Moonshiner. I'm a test gaming streamer. I play Star Citizen and other video games. I do a podcast myself where I give really bullshit answers to things I don't know anything about. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. And I have stuff all over my face, but honestly, it's just my face. That's just how I look, and I can only apologize for that. So there's nothing I can do. But thanks for having me, Astro.
No problem. And now we have the man who is whispered in humble and reverent tones. The man they know as Black Jurassic himself, who doesn't fail to astound or to astonish. Fastcart, tell everyone who you are. Where can they find you? All that kind of stuff.
You did not see my screw up at the beginning of the stream. I am Fastcart, also known as FC. I moderated for a bunch of Twitch channels and streamers. I mean, a bunch of old. But mostly I just moderate and try to have fun.
So you also are
I do maintain a packet chart.
Yeah, you make a packet chart. Aren't you on the base often though as well?
On the base, I'm on, well, not with Iron but
yeah.
I, formerly known as Iron I was a moderator, and I'm in test and I have friends all over the place.
Alrighty. Now, then lastly, we've got just Eris. It's just Eris.
Yeah.
Who are you, Eris?
I'm just I'm some guy.
Guy.
I'm just some dude.
White
Can't really. Well, I'm currently a dude faced with a very, very difficult moral decision. I'm not sure whether I should go with Flying Monkey, a American brown ale, or Gypsy Tears, a ruby ale.
Be careful about how you talk about monkeys.
Oh, God.
Go Gypsy. I don't know. She's a very pretty lady. She looks kind of classy.
I'll go with
the Gypsy.
What was the third choice again?
My tears, like just cry into a cup and. Yeah, no, I'm also a Canadian. I am from the artist formerly known as In, and you can find me somewhere soon.
Like right here, right now.
Right now. Right here. Right now. Right here.
All my people.
but soon you'll be able to we'll see you in other places doing other things soon.
Yes.
TM.
Is that with a TM or without the TM?
I think it's actually without the TM.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it's just soon.
Wow.
I think we've approached the point where we can now say it's soon, no TM. I'm still not saying anything other than soon, but it is soon, no TM.
No TM. Awesome. Alrighty, so the first thing I want to talk about is, and I'll have all of you guys discuss in your own way, is tell me what your thoughts were on the sale, on the anything specifically from this week that you talked about. We'll start with Eris again, and we'll work our way back.
Whew, what do I want to talk about with this sale? First off, I have picked up a few things because how can I not? Picked up a few Auroras to give away. I've got a 316p to give away eventually. I upgraded Archimedes to a Hull B, and really the craziest thing about this sale though is let me look it up right now. Geez. In the past 17 minutes, CIG have made $50,000.
Wow. Okay.
And that has basically been going all day. Earlier today when I checked, not like an hour ago when I checked, they were at 135,500. Now they're at 135,740. Basically, this sale is making massive amounts of money for CIG. Yeah. And if it continues this way, if today holds out, now that their site seems to slightly be up, it was having a lot of issues earlier.
Yeah.
could not do anything. But if it holds up through today, and depending on how the holiday live stream goes, like the holiday sale goes, this could be the best year in Star Citizen funding.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely.
It was supposed to be the best year in Star Citizen funding because we were supposed to get Squadron 42. But that being said, we've increased in sales every year since the original Kickstarter.
Yes.
It's not fair to compare 2012 to 2013 because 2012 there was literally like 4 months or like 3 months for 2012.
But it's fair to compare this year and last year, and this year and last year are very, very close. Actually, I'm gonna see if.
Well, last year we had the Saber. In my opinion, we had better ships launch. But anyways.
Yeah. No, I mean, last year we had ships that were flyable much quicker than this year. Like this year we had a lot of utility ships. Like the Argo is flyable, but it's the Argo. We can't really do anything.
Yeah.
With it.
This year we had the Masters of Flight thing going on.
Yeah, but that's not coming out. That's not coming out until 2.6. Like those ships won't be available till 2.6. We have to wait. We have to wait to see if that releases. So. I agree. There are less ships in terms of flyable, usable ships in the game currently, but there are more bigger ships. I think the Starfarer was released this year, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, it wasn't last year. It was this year. Yeah, because it was like in 2.1, or like not 2.1, 2.3. It was in the 2 series, and 2.0 released last year. But
it's like 2.4 or 2. Yeah.
Well, we have had 2.5 for like a long time.
Yeah.
What's interesting is 11 days ago they had made 26 million on the year, whereas in 2015 they made a total of 35.9 million on the year.
Wow.
But in those 11 days, I mean, I don't know how much we've made in those 11 days, but it's been they're getting close. So all I want to say is funding is going well. It's not like they are not continuing to make money.
Business is booming, as they say.
Yeah.
Wasn't there also like the year-end sale like last year? Didn't we have like a Christmas or like a New Year's?
Oh yeah, we're
still
still
gonna be like our last ditch for like as much money as they can get.
Well, I mean, here, and we'll talk about this in a second, but there's going to be a live stream for the holidays. So, and in the live stream, they always add something new to the game that we haven't seen before. Last year it was procedural planets. A lot of people are hoping to see the Squadron 42 demo. So if that happens, then I'd expect a lot more people to buy in, especially with new backers coming in.
If they showed off Squadron 42, which I think Squadron 42 being shown as a thing that works would actually, bring a lot of new people, a lot of people that are still on the fence to the game, as well as if they can launch 3.0. 3.0 will be launching with a bunch of new ships. If they can do both of those mid-December live stream, that's gonna be.
We'll see. We'll see. They may release like the only thing that I can see at this point. And we'll talk about that in a second. But the only thing I see, the only way I see 3.0 releasing before the end of the year this year, is into Ivocati. And I doubt it because we still have a lot of work that needs to get done.
Well,
anyways,
we're only going to get 2.6 on the 8th of December.
Yeah.
So you'd be reckless to think you're getting 3.0 in 20 days.
I disagree.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyways,
Crazy.
moving on from Eris.
Sorry.
Not going to happen. 20 days.
Fast
When
cart.
is there? Anyways.
Fast
sorry.
cart. What was there anything about this week that caught your eye? Anything specific? Ships, the Galactic Tour, anything like that you found interesting?
I picked up the 85X, and I'm thinking about melting my P72, my Archimedes, because it's the replacement. It has quantum drive on the 85X, so thinking about I don't need 2 stub ships, so I'm thinking about melting the other one. Also, this week has been keeping me busy because, as I said at the beginning, I've been working on the package chart for every day since the sale started. So it's been like a mad rush trying to hit F5 to see the new pages and make everything is accurate and correct, and then send out a tweet letting everyone know that it's been updated. And just today, I added a whole new columns to it so that people can compare each of the smaller packs, like they can compare the bigger packages, so they can compare like what the price is between the ships in the pack versus the value of the packs.
All right.
So
Yeah.
that's been keeping me busy. But
So-
other than that, just the 85X.
I just linked your thing from the community hub, the actual packs there. So if you guys want to check it out yourself, you want to show it, use that to show to your friends or relatives who are thinking about getting the game. It's a good way of looking at it. So, how about you, Moonshiners? Is anything you've seen?
I've actually been incredibly good on not spending any money. I've melted everything that I've kind of wanted to melt. I got myself back into a cart wall. You just said something about their friends and family. My brother has just kind of started watching me on Twitch, and he's so into it. He wants to buy into Star Citizen. He wants to buy himself a $3,000 PC. I bought him a package a while ago. I have packages and stuff like that, but I got a package for him. I don't know. This was a good week. I got myself a cart to wall again. I don't really know if I want to spend any money in game. I've pretty much reached a point where I've given them all that I can. Again, I got a ship for my brother, and there's a lot out here, but I'm not really buying into anything else. I might buy something right now. I'm looking at at my upgrades right now as we do this show, and I'm looking at what I might want to spend the rest of my money on. But
You still have all day tomorrow, so it's good.
really,
It's the weekend.
Yeah,
It's today and tomorrow.
ooh,
Yeah.
Yeah, you got 24 hours from 4 o'clock my time.
okay, good.
Yeah, you're solid.
Right.
That goes for everyone.
The thing that's bugging me is that I really want a Phoenix, but I have to melt some stuff. You can't even. Yeah, you have to melt some stuff to get the Phoenix.
Is it Warbond only? I think.
The Phoenix I think is not, but I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I
One
know
of them's
that.
cash only. One of them's cash only, and you only get 4 year, and it doesn't matter, but it does.
Right.
to quote Board Gamer, yeah.
To quote Board Gamer, it doesn't matter, but it does.
I also want an Endeavor, but I thought that's the same price as the Phoenix almost. So
I did
Yeah.
not see the Phoenix on the buyback list, on the CCU list.
Right, and on top of that,
it's the 890 jump or the Phoenix has never been on the CC list, but that doesn't mean it's forecast only or not. I'm pretty sure you can use credit, but don't quote me.
the 890 was credit. You could use credit. You just couldn't CCU to it.
Right, same thing for the Phoenix.
Yeah.
Ah,
Alrighty, and lastly, Nubifier, tell us what you anything you picked out from the sale, anything specific from the
Yeah. So as a content creator and an org operator, for lack of a better word, I've been melting and unmelting CCUs and stuff like that. Basically, just making sure that if someone in the org wants a ship in the future, I have the capability to, unmelt an X85X and CCU to whatever they want and then gift it to them. I don't charge money for that service, but it helps the whole org get the fleet that it wants. So that's been really lucrative. 2.6 brings the variants as you talked about. So Masters of Flight. Today I picked up one of each. I don't like most of them, but I want to test them myself to make videos about it. And also I thought it would be kind of neat to have them all in one hangar and be able to walk around each of them for that content for that video. Probably use them as LTI tokens or gift them on the YouTube channel. Again, some of them don't make any sense whatsoever. We can talk about that in the future of the show if you want.
We'll talk about that. Yeah, we'll talk about that.
One of them in particular just doesn't make any sense. The Prowler, I liked the Prowler a lot. I thought it was priced like an alien ship, which is fine. The concept is loony, and it has some really, really cool looking gameplay. I liked the fact that they got rid of the docking collar as an idea, and I liked the fact that they did all the lore behind it, explaining why the docking collar is not there. That totally makes sense. That was on Q&A too. If you guys are interested, that popped up earlier today. Yeah, the A90 Jump was the first time it's ever been on sale. Very cool. We just talked about that. I was keeping a close eye on the numbers to see how fast it went down, to see what kind of appetite there is for, super luxury, super expensive ships, because that really was a hell of a price jump from 600 to 900, 890, whatever, irrelevant. For that ship to not come out with LTI at $890, I think that was a mistake. I know why they did it.
It's not a concept anymore.
No, I know,
It's not a concept.
But it's the $1,000 ship has you know what I mean? So anyways.
It would actually be a bigger mistake on CIG's part to give it LTI, because anytime they've done that like maybe once before, and the outroar from the community was insane.
It was not ready.
It's all money.
No, it's anyway. People get angry.
It's you're right, both ways. Okay, so I didn't buy one, but if I did, basically, if they had put LTI on it, they would have sold them out instantly. And that was the only thing holding some people back. And just like we said, LTI is not a big deal, but it is if you're spending almost $1,000.
Yeah.
I think the price was holding people back too for $890 versus.
Now, there was 4 guys in my org that were talking about it, and one of them bought. The other 3 decided not to, only because you couldn't CCU an 85X to get the LTI. And that's all they would have needed to do, is make it CCU available, and they would have sold them out.
Yeah, the same thing for the Phoenix.
Same thing for the Javelin and the Icarus, which is CCUable today. Wrong, not CCUable. Yes, Javelin CCU until they run out today. And lastly, I picked up 10 starters to give out to friends to get them involved, because that's what you should do with the starter packs, not just hoard them and keep them for yourself. They're supposed to be for friends.
Now, I will say this is the first time they've done a Star Citizen starter pack, which is not included Squadron 42.
Yeah. For $15 you can buy the add-on, so it's okay. It's understandable. I'm happier that they sold it for $35 than $50 with Squadron 42, because there are still those people that don't want, for some weird reason, all they want is persistent universe access. But even if you gave it to a friend, that's enough to get them playing the game with you right now. And then if they decide when Squadron 42 comes out, they can just pony up and pay the extra $15 and get the game. So it's okay. It didn't leave me salty at all. I'm just happy that they're offering those discounted packs so that we can actually get more people involved.
Yeah, $35 is a pretty reasonable price for one game.
Awesome.
It's
and an alpha.
Yeah, an alpha.
It gets you the whole game right now. So it's good.
And they seem to be selling it pretty steadily. It's not like last year it went away like in seconds, and this year it's
because you could use credit. Last year.
It was both cheaper last year, and it was for $30, and it included Squadron 42.
Yeah, that was before the breakup.
It was right before the breakup too, because they had said that they were going to do the breakup in January.
And they did say that was the last time you'd be able to get both of them in one pack.
Yeah,
and the year before that, it was $20.
Yeah.
It was $20. Yeah.
And that sold almost instantly, almost. But yeah.
But a lot of us still have in our melt back, like Aurora LN with Squadron 42 package for $45. And, I still have some game packs from last year that if anyone needs, like people come to the org, they don't have the game. It's the first thing I do. I'm like, for $30, I'll get you the whole game. Welcome to Enemy Contact. You got yourself discounted game. So that's what, like I said, that's what those things are really good for, is making people happy.
Yeah, no, Aries brings something up, and I think it's something that I've seen as well, which is I haven't seen a $15 add-on for Squadron 42 in the store.
No, but usually when you buy,
it's not there right now. I just went and did your thing
because you already have a pack.
Yeah, but it's only if
you don't have a pack.
But you have to be purchasing a pack in order to add it on. That's the thing.
Well, it's there for the other thing. I don't know if that's
if you have a pack that doesn't have Squadron 42, you can see it.
If you click Fly Now, choose Aurora MR or Mustang Alpha, $45. Then right below that, add Squadron 42 to your package for $15.
Okay, so it only shows up if you don't have a actual.
Yeah. It shows up if you're buying it new.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if people can do that with the $35 one.
Yeah, I don't know if you can do that with. You can't do that with the $35 one. I'm doing this right now here with an account that doesn't have that. With an account that doesn't have anything.
So you'll have to pay $45 for Squadron 42. Is the answer if you want to do that.
They really need to add that $15 thing onto all of them. Like if you ever see like the Avenger pack that has it, or all the packs that they sell on it, they should just throw that little $15 add-on thing.
Let's be honest.
Check out. You sure you don't want this?
Let's be honest. They need to revamp the entire site.
Oh no, the entire.
They're going to. It's going away as soon as Spectrum comes out.
Yeah, it's coming with Spectrum, but I don't think they're gonna just run through the sale, get through it, because Spectrum will be out end of the year. So let's just get to Spectrum, because that's going to change everything. Because the site is garbage as is.
But it's been garbage for 3 years.
It's been garbage. It's been garbage for 3 years, and it's been one of the major sticking points for the community. I don't think that the community and the rest of the wide gaming community and just population as a whole take a look at the site and be like, your site sucks. Your site needs to be better designed, and even CIG's like, yeah, we know, but they haven't bothered doing it. So
I've asked Lando about that specifically. He said because it's more about the development than a new game at the moment. That's why it's like this. But I wanted to bring up something about the sale. Actually, I'm noticing a lot of new accounts being made. It's like almost 2,000 a day. So that's something too.
Yeah, no, it's definitely one of those things that the sale brings in people, because it brings in more traffic to the site. It also brings more traffic to things like Reddit and the forums, which causes people who have been on this fence, or people who've been in looking into the game but not buying it. Suddenly they start seeing it more often popping up in their feeds and their Twitter feeds, all that kind of stuff. And so they're like, what the fuck is this? And then they'll start showing up. And it causes more people to be on Twitch, because you've got the larger guys who are citizens sometimes, who start popping in on top of the people who do regularly, and causes more traffic, all that kind of stuff. So
it was that one video, the big ships of the UEE. That one video was not as good as the planetary demo, but it's more eye candy. People want to see these gigantic ships and the guy floating over and all that stuff. That was really, really good. Plus all of the new videos that we've had recently, like Sora said, the caterpillar by itself, the way Teller does it, is beautiful. But the caterpillar inside the hangar with all the lights and the smoke and everything, it's on a completely different level. And that itself, that's what I think of when I think of Star Citizen, is the level of detail and the way that the lighting and everything works. It looks real. And it's one of the only games that does that, and it's not even a game yet. That, to me, that's what sells stuff as well. People see it work, and they're like, oh my God, where have I been for 2 years? So...
Yeah, no, exactly, and I've seen a lot of people pop in and be like, "Hey, I haven't been back. I'm back from 6 months. What's going on?" Kind of thing. So there's a lot more people coming in. Yeah,
everything's going on.
But the big thing I will say is that can we take a moment and just applaud Pedro, because that fucking soundtrack on the Big Guns of the UAE,
that was good.
Just like, am I listening to Interstellar? Is this like the Interstellar soundtrack or some shit like that? Because holy fuck,
definitely pro.
Yeah.
I
All
also
of his work has been excellent.
I also love that floating animation. I hope that's going to be in the game in 2.6 and 3.0 because
how the guy's hands were able to move over
as because it actually looks at while he's floating. It looks like at one point in the beginning that he reaches down and he pushes off and continues to go, but it's not. It's just his hands are moving with the contours of the ship, so it moves down because he's kind of because the hands are actually. It
might be part of the cover system, because your legs already do that right now. If you come up to your Gladius as you go near them, it'll lift up to, it's reacting like a normal human would be. So. But I expect that to evolve as well to the point where it even looks real as the guy's interacting with objects.
Yeah. No, and the cinematography for that was great. Was fantastic for the Because of the UE, because it was. And we mentioned this in the last
it's beautiful.
It was what we're looking at is Star Citizen or is footage in 3.0 engine in 3.0. With the large ships orbiting around a planet in a universe. We're not seeing in a space box. It's actually in the engine moving around.
And when they all jumped in,
yeah,
that could have been just for a cutscene, but more likely that's multiple ships in one instance.
Well, the way that they do cutscenes is that it's actually the game. Like it's not. Right. It's not
a camera in the game.
Keep in mind there won't be cutscenes.
No,
I know. But I mean, it could have been. That's what I meant, though. It could have been orchestrated, recorded at 15 frames a second, and then sped up like you would do for Industrial Lights and Magic or something like that. But that was game engine footage, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was trying to get to the big guns of the UE because people are asking for the video. I should actually start adding these in the YouTube, like the stuff we talk about in the actual links into that, instead of just. Probably help
it's hard to keep up with all of that, though.
Yeah,
you go through so many topics, and
if I link, am I going to get banned?
I'll give you. Hold on. I'm going to grab the link real quick. The other thing that I want to talk about is their fantastic, and I mean fantastic, little galactic tour. Like that was awesome.
It was fun.
Those little segments, and I'd love to see more of those kind of segments in the near future. That's in the universe.
Yeah. I was more entertained by the Endlore news article that came out this week regarding the
Drake dancers.
Yeah. The first time we saw the female character model is with the Drake dancers
and the gun.
I mean.
I think it's also important to note one of the things that might also be driving a lot of sales here is just that we finally saw some Star Marine. I mean, we've seen big ships before, we've seen lots of this stuff before, but I mean, even a few weeks ago, I kept hearing people say there's not a chance that Star Marine is going to be released in this year. It's not going to be out till April next year. Like people have, whenever CIG go through a drought of releasing information, people lose all
context,
they lose all faith in the project. And CIG have basically said, look, I mean, it's not done, but here it is being played live. It's I think that probably to a lot of people makes a difference, because lots of people want to see how the FPS turns out, which is interesting, because did you know that the FPS was never actually promised in any of the funding goals?
Oh, that what you were looking for earlier?
Yeah, they broken our heart a long time ago and said oh well, the FPS, that's really more for what Korea is, so we weren't sure. And then Chris Roberts just this last year was oh no, it's gonna happen. Star Marine's a thing. We're working on it. It's gonna be great. And we what you were just saying about how we were in this dry spell. This has been dry. I mean, Astra, you probably realize this yourself, and Noob, and Aris, just coming up with kind of content. People have kind of drifted away. It's not as fun to watch. This is revitalized the community because they're looking forward to seeing Star Marine.
Yep.
This is a big deal. So people are coming back and they want to see what's going to happen with the game, and hopefully see it released in the next few weeks.
Just because I did the research earlier, I want to note that there were only two things that really mention first-person combat. One is, I think, the 16 million goal, which every pledger who backs before 16 million will receive a laser pistol. Keep your ship safe from boarders with a pistol by your side, which at that point, no one knew what they were talking about. We had no idea, like, does that mean there's going to be FPS combat? What is it? No idea. And then the next one was a couple million later, first-person combat on select lawless planets. Don't just battle on space stations and platforms, take the fight to the ground. And I mean, we've already seen that it's basically changed entirely from there as well, with the idea that if you wanted, you could open fire on Terra. Like Chris has been saying that for a long time. Like the game's not going to stop you. It's not like there's a restricted weapon zone. It's just you shouldn't do it because you'll.
Well, that's not saying something. That's not saying there is. It couldn't be a restricted weapon zone. It could easily be like you have to go through scanners, like you see in Hardcore, where they say do you have a weapon or not. And if you have a weapon, you get security. You got to check your weapon in. I mean, this is even like this is such an old concept. Bark, 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 bark. It's such an old concept that that was a thing that happened in most Western towns during the Wild West era, and it's the reason why the battle for the gunfight at the OK Corral happened was because they were literally going in there to take their weapons because they were supposed to check their weapons in when they got into town and they didn't, and so so that's the kind of thing that we'll see. We'll pretty sure see even in like lawless frontier towns, so where they'll be like, hey, you check your weapons in at the you want to come into the habit module, you can, but give me your weapons. You know,
it should be more like this: that you're walking around, you have your gun, and if you accidentally hit whatever button it is to unholster that gun,
everyone freaks out and runs.
Everyone freaks out on you. No, not that. Is that people actively try to shoot you or arrest you because you're not supposed to. Like, let's not make a game for 4-year-olds, right? This is an adult game and it has consequences. It's supposed to be a simulator. So if I hit one, my pistol comes out. If I very quickly, let's say, put it away, everyone goes back to normal. What is it like Skyrim that happens? You pull out your sword and everyone the posture changes, right? And you put your sword away and everyone goes back to normal. So there's a little bit of a room for that. But you discharge your pistols in some bar somewhere and cops show up and take you away and you have to pay, right? It's totally.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get over the fact that when you put one, his pistol would come out. That's just.
I didn't know this is the kind of game we're going for, but all right.
Right.
I just want to it's kind of crazy how easy we're sitting here talking about how you'll go into these frontier towns and you take out your guns and the cops will arrest you. That doesn't happen in MMOs. Like the stuff we're talking about happens in some single player games. It does not happen in multiplayer games, much less MMOs. And like I think it's important to realize what CRG are trying to do with Star Citizen.
They're making Skyrim and Assassin's Creed and Mass Effect, and they're taking them and they're putting them into a giant pot and saying this is an MMO now with a bunch of other people saying this is an MMO now. So which is really difficult. It's hard as fuck, which is going to take some time. But that being said, also perhaps it may also trigger a response from other players. So like if you're in Terra and some douchebag pulls out like an assault rifle from wherever, on Terra, then if you are like a bounty hunter, suddenly you're like money, dumbass pulled his gun out.
Welcome to Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah,
right? And that's what I want. That's more like real life. And the game is supposed to be, a simulator. So that to me, that's the kind of gameplay that I would appreciate being built into the game. And yes, we have to have some green zones so that the people that don't want to fight, because there are people in the forums, I see them, they're like, oh, is there a PvP slider? Like, can I just elect to not ever see any pirates and just go on my merry way? I'm like, maybe this is the wrong game for you, but I don't know.
Well, it's not just it's the wrong game. I just suck at FPS. I play one-handed, so it's like I've gotten through Mass Effect on easy mode. So,
but I mean, there should be lawful areas you know how our corp you start out, not our corp, but you start out Korea and you can't shoot your weapon at all. There have to be places like that for you to start out and get used to the game.
Especially like starter areas. Yeah.
Exactly. And then Grimhex is an example of something, we'll call it like medium to hard level example. And it's out there and everyone knows that you start in Grimhex, it's going to be a lot more challenging and you have to watch your back and bring 5 friends because it's not friend. It's a hostile area.
And then Korea is very hard. And if you show up in Korea, expect nothing but gunfire to come up your asshole every 5 seconds because that's what it's designed for.
Yeah.
You know?
And they've said that that's basically gonna be what happens, right? Like there will be basically danger levels on various systems and even areas in systems. And one thing that they said recently actually is like even Seoul, Earth's system, it's going to be really, really safe around like Earth and Mars and stuff. But keep in mind, these systems, the size of the systems that they're going to be making is massive. And once you get out past Pluto,
it's not policed.
It's not policed as much. Like it'll probably still have a decently quick response time, but you can get hit. So there will be danger everywhere. They've also said on the PvP slider, you can actually turn the PvP slider off. So you'll be, very unlikely.
When was the last time we heard about a PvP slider?
They rolled back on the PvP slider.
It's not happening.
They got rid of it.
They got rid of it. They said pretty recently that they're not doing the PvP slider at all.
Really?
No,
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And it makes sense.
Gone.
Here's the thing about the PvP slider. It adds too many complicated elements to the game. It makes more sense to have because the idea of
green zone, yellow zone, red zone.
Yeah, exactly.
It has more sense. If you don't want to engage,
high sec, medium sec, low sec, no sec. It's an Eve.
Yeah.
Same concept,
Yeah. And everyone knows that Earth is nice and safe and that Mars is bad, let's say.
If you think about it, like just doing the roll will actually be the slider. It's just like, listen, there are some guys who just want to be a space trucker and they're going to want to go from point A to point B and they're going to travel like the safe lanes. I mean, if you want to get in your bonding merchant, you want to go through like red space, you're going to get you're going to get shot at.
Friends, but you bring friends.
But if you got a whole series and you just want to be a space trucker, I mean, you got to think about like the role. If like you're going to be a bounty hunter, you're going to be a pirate, you're going to be doing things a little bit more FPS.
Say there's a massive plague or there's a huge disaster on a border, unlike in a remote outpost in space, and you're a space trucker and you want to help out. You can do that, but it's going to be dangerous. So you're going to need to bring some friends so you can protect yourself as you go there to help out, and that's the kind of stuff that will happen in the universe for sure.
It's no different than driving an 18-wheeler from, let's say, Ottawa to Toronto and taking that same truck and putting it in Afghanistan and trying to drive the same distance in a war zone. You will get stopped and they will take all your shit. They won't kill you, but you will have nothing left by the time you get to your destination. And that's why you have mercenaries and escorts. And it's just like, this is why in the game, this is great gameplay, because this is how it actually works. You don't take millions of dollars of the kit and fire it through hostile territory where there's pirates and expect to be good to go just because your PvP slider's off. Yeah. Right? That doesn't make any fucking sense.
And if you think about it, that's actually one of the things that's delayed. Essentially, that's one of the things that's delayed Squadron 42 is the AI. Like AI to that level, to the level of let's hire this guy to fly with me. I'm in a hull. I've got no defenses. I'm going to hire, 2 guys in Super Hornets to protect me. That is what's.
I would never hire an AI if I could hire a real player.
Yeah, real players are going to be better than
real
AI.
Real players are better, but AI will probably be cheaper. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that don't want to risk. If I've got a hull E fully laden, I don't know if I want to risk my player.
Of course, because the guy's got a reputation, and he is only as good as his reputation. And it's the same thing with an AI. An AI could be written to have a threshold where he's going to do this much, and then, oh wow, that's too lucrative. I'm going to do some piracy on him. So in reality, if you had an org, there are orgs that are specifically set up out there, which are security orgs, and their reputation is their word. And they will, if you pay them, they will fight for your ship, because if they don't, they're going to lose reputation and no one will hire them in the future. So it destroys their entire gameplay. So
The
I
thing
think
Go
the
ahead.
opposite.
Fast cart. You said.
Yeah,
you said
fast card, please.
Yeah, the thing about AI versus real players that sometimes if you're in a hurry, an AI just may be cheaper and quicker. And also if you have someone you don't know, they may disconnect some other problem that you never know about. So you have to think about that too. Unless you have an org that you have people you can trust in. But if you're a lone wolf, I can see like hiring maybe 5 AIs versus 2 real players or something like that.
Well, it's
Well,
like
I
if
also
you're a lone
don't
wolf,
know,
you should
like-
be in the green. You shouldn't be in the red zone.
I just like to
is
add
the
on
guy
one more
gonna
thing.
disconnect?
Yeah.
Who knows, right? Like,
I mean,
And a real person can turn on you.
so they can.
yeah.
Social can
Yeah,
have.
I can turn on.
Hold on. I mean, make friends. Like,
Yeah.
get involved in
Yeah,
the
that's
organization.
just saying.
Because you
Yeah.
know what? Like, as much
no
as you
lone
think
wolf.
like you might have to pay, I'm not going to pay my friends. Like, I'm going to be the cheapest captain out there. Like, my friends, like, hopefully, like, my friends just kind of come along with me. Like, hey, we're going to go do this mission. Yeah, you guys want to come along? Yeah, I'll come along. And like, maybe you don't have to pay them out as much as I have to pay an NPC.
So
and, like,
if-
these guys you can kind of.
If you're
I'll beat you,
watching this right now, don't go crew Moonshiner's ships because he will.
No,
he's
we'll
gonna stiff you. He's gonna stiff the shit out of you.
Sometimes I'll pay you, but like hopefully like I can take somebody
Sometimes
with
he'll
me.
pay you.
You know,
But that's what reputation's for.
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of reputation. And
Only
you could,
friends.
if you screw 2 people over, you have no rep. You won't get hired again. So that's fine. It's like self-regulating, just like in real life. You know, your Uber, you go pay for an Uber cab. He doesn't have an Uber account if he gets 5 people say he was a shitty driver. He just loses the ability to log in.
And
But
then you
also,
find
you have to think about-
an org that they all take jobs from this one guy, get him a really high reputation, and get themselves really high reputation by taking quick
Right.
easy jobs with each other and voting
Yeah.
5. And then
So
when
that's-
someone else comes in,
Just like
they
in real
hack.
life.
And
Just like in real life. Some guy makes a fake account with Facebook and looks like a great guy.
Yeah.
So again, this is fine. This is all normal gameplay.
And
Yeah,
that makes
I
sense. And AI. The problem is that we know that AI will also backstab you because it's already a mission in game that we've seen from
Yeah.
the Gamescom demo.
Yeah,
AI will
the
backstab
Gamescom,
you.
yeah.
They will
Yeah.
backstab you. They will fuck you over if
Because
they-
it's being written like a movie.
Yeah. So
Perfect.
It's a matter of like who's trusting, who's not. Like, oh fuck, now I can't even remember the guy's name. The AI, the mission giver from the Gamescom demo. But Miles, was it
Irrelevant.
Miles?
Yeah.
Miles
Yeah.
Eckhart.
Miles
Like the bald
Eckhart.
guy?
Yeah, the bald guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Miles
like,
Eckhart.
but no one in who is a backed Star Citizen will ever trust Miles Eckhart
Of course not.
because of
I
that
don't
video.
know. I think he seems like a swell guy.
He's just
They
misunderstood.
trust them up to the point where they're on a star fair because they know after the mission after the star fair you get screwed.
Yeah, exactly. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about, we could talk about this a little bit, is the variants. There are lots of discussions about the variants, and I think the general consensus for people who've backed it for a long time, who are looking at like, what is the advantage of this over this, is that the ships are not really really do have an advantage. They're simply cool looking and some new equipment.
Can I start this one?
Go for it.
Okay, so I do deadly loadouts on my YouTube, and that's me trying to find the most deadly loadout. I mean, obviously the best meta for that ship. If the ships were coming out with a very, very strong loadout, something that would be universally accepted, it's like, let's say something that people are using in Arena Commander, that would be a good start. You've got your Saber with 4 tarantulas or something like that. That should be what this is. What we've got is very, very weird. You have like a Saber with 2 shotguns and 2 long-range guns. You have a Hornet that is more expensive than its big brother
Yeah, I thought it was a Super Hornet variant, but it's not.
and has missing a chin gun canard. It has 2 size 2 lasers and then 2 ballistics that have no similarity in pip whatsoever. So you couldn't. Basically, you'd buy it and you'd have to go buy new guns anyways.
But the important thing about the Hornet variant is that it has cargo, which many of the other Hornets do not have. But if you're going to get that, you know, just get a
13
regular Hornet.
cargo in a car. So, but the thing is, the whole series being sold as the Arena Commander Stars. So why are we worrying about cargo? I mean, right?
No, they're not being sold as the Arena Commander stars.
they
They're sold
are.
as they're being sold as the Masters of Flight. Like these are expert.
But they're dumb loadouts. But they're
really dumb loadouts. I agree.
But they suck.
These are the worst. Like I feel like they were like, "What are you throwing? I don't know. Just like throw anything on there. I don't care. Like
go ahead,
put
Eris.
shotguns in this gun."
Okay, one. It's probably actually a really, really big problem for CIG that there's people that say, oh, this is the absolute best loadout. And everyone's like, oh, okay, we're going to lose the absolute best loadout because it's the best. That, to me, is kind of
that's
broken.
Normal. No, but that's what you do in Battlefield. That's what you do in every single game. Yeah. You go find the best gun and you go kill people. Right?
And
so
if CIG is doing its job, and I'm not doing a job, CIG. No, but if CIG is doing a good job, there is no such thing as the best weapon. It's simply that all the ships' weapons are balanced to a certain degree, and they're doing a pretty good job.
They're still balancing, right?
Yeah.
But this is to me, I see this one as a way of them giving people more option. Because you know what? I don't go in and customize my weapons when I play because I don't give a shit. And a lot of people don't go in and customize their weapons. They play it with the default because they don't care. They just want to get in play.
That's the guy
hold
on. Let Eris talk, guys.
Hold on. Like, it doesn't matter that they're inferior. You're saying they're inferior to, I can customize my ship to be the best. Well, maybe someone wants their ship to be fancy looking. What it comes down to at the end of the day is, personally, I think this is actually a great idea for what CIG are doing. Right now, they're doing it in lore, right? They're taking, like, here's this person that she got the first Vanduul kill. Here is the ship that she used. And right now it's from lore that they're making up. And maybe the ships aren't the greatest loadouts, who cares? But what this shows us is maybe that CIG down the road, because we've known for a long time that CIG are thinking of making it so that, like, if you kill some really famous pirate in universe, you will be lauded for that. You will get the approbation of the verse. And maybe this will come out of that as well. You can have the fast cart Hull B loadout where, he traveled through, like, you can have loadouts for actual players that this is what this person used when they accomplished this feat. And that, to me, that's pretty damn cool.
I mean, the big thing about it, and I think this is the way they look at it, is that it's not necessarily a meta thing. If you're buying it for the meta reasons, then you're buying it for the wrong reasons. The reasons why it's options. You got to think about this. It's an option. They're options for you with the ships you have. Now, what I don't like the fact is that they're options that cost, in some cases, $50 to $45 more than the original, and as I've said before, the equipment doesn't matter, because even though, like as Noob says, people wanted the best loadouts are going to change. Every single patch has different changes, nerfs, balances, bonuses, and it's going to be like that until beta. Maybe even after beta. Like, look, if you look at every single released FPS game, like Battlefield, the meta changes every patch because they balance to try to make sure that no weapon is necessarily better than all the other weapons. So if they can balance the weapons together to make sure that that they're all good for different reasons at different distances, then people will do that. The real key problem I have is that it's so expensive, and it's for a fancy skin and LTI. Because if you
I was just gonna say that I really was looking forward to the Hornet, the Wildfire, because it's red, and red is one of my favorite colors, so I think about getting it. But then I found out it's not a Super Hornet variant; it's just a regular Hornet variant, and it has cargo. And so I'm like, I'll just hold off until I can get it in the PU or something like that.
Well, you'll be able to change your color anyways. You don't have to buy this exact ship.
However, this ship may be the only way you could get this
color, this variant,
the skin, because more than likely what they're going to do is that each skin is a new pattern for a ship, and then each of those patterns will be able to apply any color, but those patterns will be what you have to buy. That way they can sell camo patterns or whatever for money, and still allow people to customize it. So
I guess what I would like to say is, go ahead.
It's not like these are the only options, right? It's not like they're forcing you to buy these variants. You can still buy the original ones. Everything's for sale right now, right?
Right.
Yeah. I was just going to say, though, it would have been, I feel it's a missed opportunity. And maybe Moonshiners will agree with me on this. They could have gone and got an actual loadout that made sense, or found a loadout that is being used a lot in the sphere, and then did the paint job and everything like that, and then sell it for the premium price, but give someone something that they might find out works really well in Arena Commander, especially if you're a new pilot. If I said this is the loadout that 80% of the people in Arena Commander who fly this ship are using, then that to me would make more sense. And yes, someone said that meta is for sissies or whatever in there. That's fine. But the reality is everyone uses it. Everyone must be a sissy at that point.
I actually have a question for you.
Yeah.
And this is something I just thought, we still don't have item system 2.0 really, right?
It should be either in 2.6 or 3.0.
6 or 2.0. What if that's something that we're just missing from the equation? Like they have been playing around with item system 2.0 for a while now. They're testing in 2.6. They're testing in 3.0. Maybe the chain, like the loadouts that they're suggesting here, maybe some of them make a bit more sense after items 2.0, and we just don't see it yet.
No, the Red Hornet only comes with 4 guns, and 2 of them don't match. So no matter what meta, they're whatever balance they're doing in the future, those guns don't match. They don't work as well as something that someone might actually choose to go and play Battle Royale.
What Nubafire is saying is that they're not. The loadouts aren't monoboating, because they're not monoboating. They won't be as. They won't be.
Yeah, and CFG have actually stated, like Matt Sherman has actually stated that lots of the 2.0 changes are going to be trying to reduce the effectiveness of monoboating, because monoboating is.
Yeah, but then you just take 4 of the same gun and you have a monoboat. So it's not something that.
Yeah, but you don't. They're saying you don't want 4 of the same guns, because if you go with 4 laser weapons, you're not going to be doing much hull damage. You want a combination. You want Fire Group 1 and Fire Group 2. You want some skill, anyway. That's what they're trying to do for 2.0.
I agree with all of you. Hold on. I agree with all of you. I see, because I totally agree with the whole thing. Like, for one thing, the guns are not set. Who's to say like where we're at once 3.2 comes out, and like they've completely like reworked guns and stuff like that. You're absolutely right with the whole idea of monoboating, and because you're right. But sometimes like my flight style, I like my pips being somewhat on the same thing. I don't like having a pip here and a pip here. I don't do I'm mouse and keyboard, but I don't use gimbals. There are certain things that, again, this is where I agree with all of you. And again, and it's not the meta, because like you do always want to use like the best kind of guns, and sometimes that might be a mixture of using, a ballistic with a laser or a plasma or a shotgun. Who knows? The shotguns might work out to be great in the future. We don't really know what they're doing. I would kind of only hope that, again, hopefully this is more with lore, is this really expensive skin. Maybe I'd like to see, was the wildfire, were the comets like a group of like a fighter squadron? Is that why it's like exclusive? Is the wildfire, was that like something special? Because then I'll be okay with it, because if it's like an exclusive set for like the UEE for that wing, I'll be okay with it. Same thing for the Renegade. If the Renegades were a group of people, and that's why that thing is special, then I'm great with it. And maybe I can just paint my ship however I want.
That's a good loadout, by the way.
Skin. Yeah.
The Renegade.
I just want to touch on.
Go ahead, Fastcart.
Moonshine is almost touched on the point I was trying to make. If people just want to buy an expensive skin, they can, and they can go into the rec store, the Voyager direct store, to get whatever weapons they want. So, I mean, in the end, the loadout doesn't really matter, because you can swap out the weapons pretty easily.
Yep.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, sorry, I'm not trying to sound like I'm harping on this. Go buy a Super Hornet. Everyone in right now, if you're going to go buy the Red Hornet, you can today.
Not that last time I saw you couldn't.
Yeah, you can.
Of course.
Today you can.
It's the crazy sale.
Well, I thought
today,
they weren't selling it during the Anvil series.
It's one of the most sold ships that's limited.
I know, but it wasn't sold and when it was. Oh, it is available now. I didn't think it was actually being sold, but
it's cheaper. It's cheaper than the current variant, and it has better weapons, and a better shield, and a better, so yes, you could go get a Red Hornet and then try to make it into a Super Hornet, but you'll never get a Super Hornet. More importantly, you're going to spend $10, even if you don't wreck it. Obviously, go wreck. But the chin canard and the ball, you know what I mean? It's just you're a better starting point. And I think whatever, it's just stupid to go buy the Wildfire in particular. Some of the other ones
some
make
people
more
are really
sense.
light skinned though, so I mean,
Right, and if that's all you want, then get rid of your money. But
it is also an LTI.
It's not value. LTI. But then you could take an 85X and go buy a Super Hornet, and you have an LTI Super Hornet.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyways,
but the big thing is that the one thing that I'm really excited about variants is that competitive Arena Commander can actually be competitive instead of people using the meta all the time.
It should give people diversity, and that's good.
Well, no, but I mean, like, is having these variants, in maybe say a game mode, like a pro mode, where you have to choose one of these variants to fly in order to
a default loadout,
like a default loadout you can't change. Sure. That would be awesome because it would force people to learn how to play with different flight styles and different ships. And yeah, the metas would emerge amongst the ships, but if you see that would make it a lot easier to balance for those ships rather than having to balance for all of the weapons and ships for Arena Commander. Since Arena Commander is a different beast from it's fighting in a shoebox versus fighting in a like stadium. Fighting in a battlefield. So I think that makes a little bit more sense in the long run.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on to other topics.
Sorry,
we're
guys.
We're coming up on the 1 hour mark. So we're going to start taking questions here in a few minutes. The main thing that I want to say is we will answer any and all questions you have unless they break 3 rules. 1, I cannot talk about other Twitch streamers or other content creators because that's shitty, and I'm not going to do that. 2, don't ask me stupid questions. If you ask me stupid questions, you will get stupid answers.
But you'll still answer.
I'll answer. But I'll answer with the most retarded, response.
There are no stupid questions, only stupid people.
They're only yes, exactly. And lastly, don't ask us official CIG questions because we can't answer official CIG questions because we're not official CIG. However, we will give you answers for as if we were at CIG, and you can run them to the forums and say confirmed on the captain's table. Disco especially likes it when you say Paul Shelley at the captain's table said this because he loves to hear that, or Moonshiner has said this, though he probably would be happy if Fastcart responded. He'd probably
considering that all of us at what the artist formerly known as INN are confirmed to be CIG employees.
Yeah. Apparently, yeah.
Apparently.
Yes, do you still have your card?
Of course. You still have your membership or your employee ID or whatever.
Your ID, your employee card, yeah.
I still have it. I'm good. I can still just swipe in. Don't worry.
Alrighty, so
just knock. They'll let you in. They're really nice.
Yeah.
They are.
They are actually really nice. You can knock and they'll let you in.
Yeah.
You can't get past the lobby, but they'll let you in. All right.
The lobby's so pretty.
It is pretty. All right, moving on. Let me pull up the questions.
I love the doors.
The doors are amazing. Like if you guys haven't had a chance to tour, if you're watching or listening and you ever have a chance to tour CIG.
Where's my tour CIG? Come on, man.
Do it. And it's a little easier for some of the locations. Like LA is very difficult because they get a lot of requests because Chris is there and it's his office. So a lot of people want to come in and say hi to Chris and talk to Chris. There's a lot of cool people at CIG LA, but definitely talk to. If you're going to be in the area of Austin, Los Angeles, Manchester, or Frankfurt. Send CS an email saying, "Hey, can I get a tour?" Sometimes they have like we'll do a tour like once a month or once every 3. Sometimes they'll pick you up depending on but it's definitely worth it.
Also, if you're in the area of Montreal, both Turbulent and Behavior are pretty good about that as well. They're not quite CIG, but I mean they do a lot of amazing stuff. So
and Behaviors does some awesome work. They did Dead by Daylight, and they're working on the 40K Eternal Crusade. They do that.
Don't talk to me about that.
Who did the star map?
Turbulent
in Montreal.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're also doing Spectrum. Behavior have done they did lots of art. Like they did lots and lots of the concept art. They also do all of the flanger hair.
All of the
flanger hair.
Hanger
The
flare.
flare.
All of the
Too much beer.
all of the
Sorry.
all of the landing zones, I believe, are being made by Behavior as well. So like all of the landing zones for standing system for the 3.0 are made by Behavior.
I think they're made by Behavior, like concepted and laid out, and then CIG touch them up.
All right, so first question is from Human Evil. Not Star Citizen related, but have you seen the live action Ghost in the Shell trailer? And if so, what are your thoughts on it? That's a stupid question because we don't talk about things.
I don't talk. I'm an anime fan, man. I'm gonna talk to you.
Go for it. Go for it. Because my response is I don't know. I think the trailer's all right, but I don't.
The shelling sequence is like straight out of like the
exactly.
1995 movie. Was fucking awesome.
Right.
But they did that on purpose to make you blow your mind and want to go watch the movie.
I'm a nerd. All over the place.
No,
yes,
it's a good movie.
Loved it.
I'm a little upset about the whitewashing. They whitewash, and they also make the major. They also make the major be like, I don't know who I am. I don't know where I'm from. It's like it's the fucking major. She's just a badass, and no one gives a fuck.
Future,
like that's the thing.
If you're gonna make an android, don't you want the android to look like Scarlett Johansson? Of course you do. Scarlett Johansson, they're not making like an actress. It's like, oh, hey, we're gonna make these androids, and they're all gonna like look the same. Well, why don't we make them look like Scarlett Johansson? Of course you are.
Yeah.
See?
I mean, I don't know how deeply you want to get into this, but I mean, that model of an android. She's supposed to be an undercover agent, so her model is like one of the most common sexoid models there is. So that's why she looks like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's in the story.
Yeah.
And we lost Eris. Come back, Eris. Come back.
I came here for Star Citizen. I don't know what I've been dragged into.
All right. The next question comes from Human Evil. What is your opinion on the claim the Drake Galactic Tour video was sexist due to dancing girls?
Next question.
Here's the reality. Star Citizen's trying to be real. Slavery, drugs, prostitution, stripping, all of these things exist in real life.
And chicks at car shows is a real thing.
It's a standard thing. It's not just a real thing.
Yep. Trade shows
and drugs.
Fuck booth babes. Booth babes in video game shows are a big
I think that's what
thing,
they're
you know?
that's what they're referencing,
That's
right?
what
They're
they are.
referencing like E3 a year or two ago when one company, like they were told no booth babes, and one company brought in scantily clad booth babes, and everyone was up in arms about that one company that brought in booth babes. And I don't remember which it was, but
it was a company.
I just have to say that.
Go ahead.
Drake got a lot of publicity out of that.
Yeah, I will say they did. No, but I mean it's art imitating life. They're trying to pull out real events and real things that go on and do it. And besides the fact, all of those women were bald. I mean, seriously, if you look at them, they were all bald.
Yeah, but they had guns too, didn't they?
Yeah, they had guns.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? It's not sexist. She has a gun.
But that's what I mean.
I'm pretty sure Drake actually made this incredibly clear that this was all promo, cross promotion for a movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what you guys are complaining about. Those were dancers promoting the Cutlass Babes movie or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
Because, I mean. They're not booth babes. They're not booth babes. They are cross-promotional actresses.
If CIG doesn't make a trailer for that promo video, I'll be disappointed.
Yes.
And all of the chicks were handing out flanger hair.
Flanger hair. Yeah, flanger hair.
Okay.
Here's your hanger flare.
Next question.
I don't want any hanger flare. I want flanger hair.
Yeah, there you go.
Next question is from Moonshiners. Why is Tess the worst org ever?
Test is best squadron.
Next question.
It's the Test Squadron is terrible, horrible. You should never join it unless you want to have fun. Next question.
They're all alcoholics.
Yeah, all of us.
Do you want to have fun, drink alcohol, and hang out with like awesome people?
I don't want this to turn into a test podcast.
You want to be like all like stuffy up your butt kind of people? Then go join Noobifiers.
Where we have fun too.
They
Don't
have
worry.
fun, yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to take this time to thank Noobifier for lending me Sea Dizzle for my streams. He is usually the force that I need when I'm dealing with like, oh, I'm fighting 4 people who decide they're going to stream snipe me. Then Sea Dizzle shows up and it's like they're all dead. Okay, good, cool. This works.
He's a machine.
And again, this is not a test podcast. This is not as where I promote test. I'm part of test. I bring test members on, but we have people from other organizations and such like that. And if you have somebody who makes content who's from another organization who wants to be on the captain's table, tell me and I'll let them on. It's just a matter of them coming to me and talk to me, because usually I have to hunt people down and be like, do you want to come on? They're like, maybe, kind of thing. So next question comes from Johnny2948. Johnny asks, "Hey Eris, Turbulent didn't mention mobile on QA for their Spectrum. Thoughts?"
No.
Yeah, they mentioned it. It's just future.
Yeah, and it's wrong. It shouldn't be future. It needs to be now. Mobile needs to be first. Without mobile first, you won't get the same kind of integration that you get something like Discord. Discord was successful at overturning Skype, Mumble, and TeamSpeak because it launched with mobile first. And if orgs want to do things like lots of people that run big orgs also have day jobs. People that want to run orgs and keep up with stuff want to be able to check stuff on their phone because RSI is blocked at work or whatnot. Mobile first. Hashtag mobile first.
This is what I was going about, because I knew Eris was triggered with that question.
I really think it's one of the most important things that they need to do, because I really, really want Spectrum to succeed, but without something more, without at least what Discord offers, why would you move off Discord? I mean, most orgs have their own forums already. They have their own Discord servers already. Like, why are you going to move to Spectrum?
Yeah, or TeamSpeak or Mumble or Skype, like Skype groups, like they already have them. So there has to be a reason to move to Spectrum other than it's the in-game voice app, because a lot of people are going to be like, I'll be on mute. We'll just talk and
And I think that they have to do it with mobile, because that's what made Discord win. That's why everyone's on Discord, because it launched with a mobile app. Didn't matter how bad the mobile app was. We were willing to put up with it.
Yeah.
The mobile app was great. I don't know what you're talking about. The Discord mobile app was fantastic. I mean, the first release wasn't stellar in terms of stability, but neither was Discord. It was overall, but it was the same layout. Sorry,
it was good, but
it was better than anything else we had at the time.
I know. Which is the point, right? Like, everyone moved to it because it was better, and CIG at least have to mimic what Discord offers, which is mobile.
All right, next question comes from Dethos. How many of you have spent more than you thought during this sale? Thank you. I did, but that's mostly because I'm buying a lot of stuff for giveaways. Like I think I purchased, in terms of credit, I purchased about $300 in credit and maybe about $150 or more in stuff that for giveaways, like with cash. Mostly because I want to make sure I have stuff to give away in the near future. And there's a lot of cool shit that they're going to only sell for the sale. So
you can still spend a lot of money, but have planned to do that. Right.
Well, I wasn't planning on getting all of the stuff, but I ended up.
But it's
I
for
ended up
a good
singing,
reason.
Yeah.
And you're going to get value out of it in the future. It's not just like you went and bought an 890 jump and then you're like, what the hell did I?
Yeah.
Now how am I gonna pay rent?
Yeah.
Can't live in the 890 jump yet.
Yeah, I just have to survive for the next 24, 48 hours whenever the sale ends. So until the Phoenix sells out or whatever.
Rip your modem out of the wall and just throw it out the window.
I kind of need my modem for other stuff, but yeah, something like that. But I've only spent like $50 in credit on the 85X.
Perfect. It's a good ship too.
I grabbed a merchantman and a Hulby. Ooh. Okay, grabbed. I mean, I upgraded a Starfarer into a merchantman by melting it, and I grabbed a Hulby by using the remaining credit.
The 195 Starfarer?
Yeah. Oh yeah. The 170 Starfarer.
Oh, you got the early one.
I got the early. I saw Misk and was like, I'm buying that, and then realized later that I don't want it, and then realized later again that I want it, and then realized later
The
that I don't
fare
want it.
also went from a crew of 2 to a crew of 7.
Yeah.
So it changed a lot. It was a pickup truck, and now it's like a
It was a fuel.
fucking
It was a
boat.
fuel. It was a fuel truck, and now it's a fuel tanker. You know,
Right.
Yeah, I have a
cool.
quick question.
Yeah.
I have a quick question. So how much do you think, when the Merchantman actually gets closer to being released, how much do you think it'll go up in price?
$500.
Total?
No, two for 500. I think it'll be about 500. Yeah, between 450 and 500. I think at the low end it could possibly go to 350, but 350. But 350 is still
minimum.
I think is the minimum it is going to increase. More than likely it'll be 500, just because it's the size of a Starfarer now. You know,
Right?
Can I just point out, as we're talking about buying ships and what we bought, that before this podcast ends, they're likely to hit 136.
Yeah.
Wow.
We started at 135 700, I think. They're now at 135 915.
Doesn't shock me at all.
no, I mean
I know. It's insane to watch. Sorry, I really like watching.
people
numbers
are
go.
watching us, and we're advertising for the game, so they're going out to buy the ship. That we're feeling it.
Yeah, where's our commission?
Yeah, go buy
Brand
Banu Merchantmans, guys. Get out there.
Yeah, go do it right now.
I'm really excited for the
we-
Merchantman.
We don't it's funny because people talk about how I think every single person on this podcast has been called a shill at some point, and my response is fuck. I wish I was a shill. Holy shit! I wish I could get some of this money. I'm doing this for free. Well, not for free. I mean, we all take hopefully some donations or subscriptions or whatever. But CIG doesn't pay us.
We pay them to advertise for them.
We don't get money out of it, but we get fun, and that's good.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I do it.
I'm $3,500 into Star Citizen. I'm about 12 or 13 into various
INN.
websites. INN, and now
not INN.
The new one is like another 3
Right
already.
300 or 3K.
Yes.
Don't worry.
I
That's
do
just a
everything in
javelin.
thousands. It's just a javelin. It's just a javelin.
Javelin just sold out.
No problem.
Just checked.
No.
It was 6 and now there's 0.
My Star Destroyer. I'm just kidding. I don't want one.
When are they going to do something like a Star Destroyer? Like, everything's been
They
really.
did Polaris.
I guess, yeah. I just hate the Polaris.
I
It's
guess
a burrito. Imagine you paint it orange.
it's a
Like
pizza
once we can
slice.
change the
It's a-
color,
it's a
you
pizza
make it
slice.
orange. Oh, that'd be awesome if you could customize your own paint and make it look like a pizza with the pepperoni on the top.
All of the
it's the
guns,
piece of
all
shit.
the guns are red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
You're stunned for a couple
my-
seconds, and then it turns around and kills you. And you're like, "Damn it!"
My question is, what the Polaris had in the back, we break for no one.
Yes.
That would
We
be
break for no one.
Yeah.
The best back would be my other ship is an Idris or something like that, or my other ship is an Aurora. You know that kind of thing.
I'd ask when they're going to do something like the intro of the ship in Spaceballs, but they've already got the Bengals, so
Yeah. They'll live forever. Next question comes from Aries. What do you think of the choice to not run LTI on packages that included new concept ship? This is a departure from previous established norms. What are you talking about? All of the concept
I'm
ships.
confused.
Yeah.
if the concept ship is in a package, like if it's in I don't even know.
The first run of a
what
concept.
concept ship?
The first run of a concept ship is always LTI. But I think he's talking about like.
And that's it.
But yeah, and that's it.
Maybe he's thinking about the 85 that's is inside a pack. It's inside a pack, not a package, because the package it specifically has Star Citizen
That's a running
or
theme.
Squadron 42. I think the 85X may be in a pack that doesn't have LTI.
Oh, that sucks. Don't buy it.
Yeah, exactly.
I've heard a lot of complaints about
LTI doesn't matter.
Yeah,
At
it
the end of
doesn't
the-
matter. It
we'll
doesn't.
We'll see. And a lot of people don't have the perspective, but I played a lot of Elite Dangerous, and a lot of people don't understand that insurance for your ship is the cheapest insurance. The expensive shit is when you get that baller ass plasma cannon that does that just wrecks holes in ships like it's just eats them.
I have a question for you.
That shit's expensive to replace, and if you get insurance on it, that shit's expensive to replace.
I have a serious question for you.
Yeah.
How much time did you put into Elite Dangerous? Hours.
Hours, at least 100, at least 100, if not 300 hours.
Okay, because 6 months of insurance is 4,380 gameplay hours of Star Citizen.
Yeah, no,
Gameplay, like you have to be logged in for 4,380 hours.
Here's the
for
caveat.
6 months insurance.
Here's the caveat. Those hours are not real hours. They're in-game hours.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yes.
But an hour in game is actually less time than reality.
I don't. No, it's not.
That's
Yes,
it
is.
is.
It is, but it's not in-game hours. It's real time.
Play
It's
hours.
days.
Right.
Playable hours.
It's when you're logged in, but it's accelerated time. So your 6 month insurance isn't worth January to July. It's
Right, it's not.
It's real hours.
But I just want to say that as far as 48 month insurance, if it was in real time and it's only in 8 hours a day, that's 7 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. The last we heard from CIG, from I believe Matt Sherman, I can't
From what I
drag it
understand
up
how
right
it
now.
works.
It's real life hours. Like it's you
They're
play for
collecting-
an
they're
hour,
collecting the metadata.
it runs down an hour.
But either way, LTI doesn't matter. But some people it does. It matters to them.
That's why it doesn't matter, because that's how 6 months insurance turns into a longer gameplay. That's why LTI doesn't matter.
LTI is
Because
peace
having
of
6
mind.
months or 48 months, 6 months is plenty of time. 3 months is 2,000 some odd hours. That's a long.
It doesn't
game.
matter. Let's just agree that it doesn't matter. And if it matters to you, then it matters, and go buy it.
Well,
Right.
All right,
Done.
so
No bullshit.
I'm pretty sure that will change, and here's the
I'm
reason
with
why.
Eris on.
It's because
But the thing is,
go ahead.
oh, sorry. I don't think there's much difference between 48 months insurance and lifetime insurance. Because
No,
by
there
the
isn't.
time you run out of 48 month insurance,
I agree with you 100%, but it does matter to some people.
Yeah, it's
and
a
it
peace of
shouldn't.
mind thing. It shouldn't, but it
It
does.
shouldn't matter, but it does matter.
Board.
Board gamer.
So here's the thing: is that I'm pretty sure that insurance is going to go. From what I understand how it works is that it works like the system for rec. However, it only matters if you're in the ship, and it matters the months tick by depending on the days you use the game. A day in game is much shorter than a day in real life. It's I don't even know the accelerated time, but generally speaking, you're going to have a day in game. You may be able to experience 1 or 2 days in game in one play session.
Where are you referencing the accelerated time from? Who said that?
Yeah.
Chris Roberts
Exactly.
has said accelerated time several times in terms of how to deal with the issue distance, and he's also talked about insurance specifically in that the accelerated time will factor into the insurance. Now that was like a year ago, so that may change in that it may have already changed or may change in the future. The problem is we won't really. Insurance doesn't fucking matter until beta, and that's when they'll start working it out then.
I wish there was a site that I could go to look up the quotes, but there isn't right now.
There was.
There was, and there will be one soon.
Yeah, but there was
No TM.
But insurance doesn't matter. It does matter, but it doesn't matter. And the thing is that in order for CIG to make sure that insurance actually has an impact in terms of being a money sink, so that people will have to throw money in so that they don't lose ships. It will have to have people who play long term, months, years will have to re-up their insurance at least. That's the concept. Is that
and your point is actually the most important. It's that, yes, you've got your hull insurance, but Nubifier, like you said, lots of the starting loadouts are balls, right? So, you're going to switch that loadout immediately, and boom, none of that stuff.
Now your ship, right? But then you're going to have to go insurance on your guns if they even offer it.
They will.
And then there's other insurance problems that if I flew my ship into Vandal territory, insurance is not applicable. So once again, insurance doesn't matter unless it matters to you. Yeah. Next question.
If it matters to you, you should have grabbed an Archimedes when they went on sale for $35 LTI. Grab a bunch of those. Oh, the 85X now, yeah.
The cargo Argo.
Just up it.
Yeah,
Pick one.
that's true.
Yeah, pick anything.
And there'll
Even
be
you
more.
can go buy a Comet right now and upgrade it to Star Destroyer if you want.
All right, so
Yep, there will be more,
here's the key. Here's another question, which is about LTI, but it's a specific question. I heard someone talking about 85X as a lifetime insurance token, LTI token. I understand that they're saying that using upgrade feature from RSI SOAR to move the lifetime insurance onto another ship. Is this true? And if so, would you go about it? Yes. So what you do is you go into the site, you take your 85X, which should be, you go to the upgrade section, and then you choose on the left side.
Store,
you choose
ship upgrades.
Ship upgrades, yeah. And then you click, there's 2 boxes. The first box you click and you put in your 85X, and then the next box you put into whatever ship you want to upgrade it to. Once you click that, it'll generate an upgrade. You pay whatever the upgrade is, and that new ship will have LTI on it. Because
you'll have to go and activate it in your hangar.
Yes, you have to actually apply it to the ship. But once you've applied it, it's not reversible, but it is LTI.
But it only retains what the original had. So if the original didn't have LTI, even if you went and bought a Saber Comet that has LTI now, you will end up with a non-LTI ship. If you had a game package, you'll end up with a game package.
Yeah. So if you
put the link in
upgrade
the
it to a
chat.
ship that has LTI now, then you won't. Yeah.
And you can't downgrade. You could melt if you screw up and go too high. You can melt it and rebuy it, and then start again.
Yeah.
So it's lovely. Release endorphins.
I have my minions are working for me, and one of them has quoted me something regarding time duration of insurance. Current plan is it's based on playtime, not real time.
Yes.
6 months of real time, January to June. It'd be how many hours you're putting into the game. You don't get penalized for taking a break. Reverse
exactly.
Is the time accelerated?
Here's the question.
Why would they accelerate time?
They
10 times.
They haven't said exactly because they've played around with the idea. But the concept is that right now ships don't actually go 2C. They're actually so they have to accelerate time in order for 2C to happen, because 2C, if you look at the actual speed of 2C or 20% the speed of light, to get from Earth to Pluto is like 12 hours.
Yeah.
So it's super fast, but no one would play that.
Why would they offer LTI? Why would they offer LTI?
Because they said they would.
Every other.
Keep in mind, LTI is something they said that they were offering in the Kickstarter. Now, in the Kickstarter, they had no idea that this is what it was going to turn into, right?
Right. Yeah.
And now they're continuing offering LTI because 2 years ago, they said we will offer LTI on every single concept ship. Right. And if they stopped, we would crucify them, and rightly so. They've told us that you will always be able to get LTI at the first time a ship is sold. That's why they're still offering it.
And then they negated the whole thing by offering us CCUs. And again, I'm not upset about that at all, because it gives me the ability to get my entire fleet in something that doesn't matter. LTI, right? Yep. And why wouldn't you if it costs the same amount? So effectively what they've done is they made LTI completely available for anybody.
Yep. Can I give a quick PSA, public service announcement? For people who may not be able to afford a ship right now, try to get like a cheap token, like a $0 or $5 token to the ship that you want from a different ship that's always offered. Like the Redeemer, I believe, it's always offered, and it's $250. So
Redeemer is not.
The Redeemer is always on sale.
It is?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
so if you want a merchantman, but you don't have $250 now, you can get a Redeemer to merchantman CCU for free, and then apply it later.
Yeah, that's. Yeah. I have friends who may be moderators for this channel who are watching right now who have been doing that all this sale, but
it's. I'm glad that they did it. LTI was. When they first started the Kickstarter, it was a nice kind of idea, but the entire idea of the game has changed since then. They were hoping for $6 million. Now they're at 136, right? Yeah. Like everything.
Is it official?
Changed. Yeah. Is it official? I don't know. 1 second. Funds.
Alrighty, but
no, sorry. Not yet.
Not yet. So that's the upgrade system is wonderful, and use it as much as possible if you guys are looking to upgrade a ship to something else, because it'll save you money and it'll save you pain in the butt.
Yeah, and like what someone said, that it basically rendered the gray market useless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it destroyed the gray market, which is fine.
Which is good, because
the inflated prices weren't there anymore.
Not anyone else.
Yeah.
You can find on the gray market cheaper ships than what they came out at.
Yes, because people are trying to get rid of them, which makes sense. But,
Right.
You know, next question comes from Shady Phase. Was everyone pleased with the Tavaran face reveal image? I was okay with it.
Yes,
It was cool. It looks alien, that's for sure.
I thought that
Look like
both
birds.
the Prowler and the Tavaran looked really alien and looked really different. And I mean, you look at the Prowler, and I mean, they clearly went with an avian feel to both of them, but like the Prowler looks like a bird. It looks like an eagle or a hawk or something, and the Tavaran do as well. And I know it's cheesy, but I like that.
No, it's fine.
You
It's we've got our Ninja Turtles with the Xi'an.
Yep.
We have our hyper chickens with the
But
Then we've got our rock people with the Banu, because they look like they're made of rocks. And we've got our
reptiles.
our reptile feathered reptile dinosaur creatures that are the
It's you know what it's gonna be? I figured it out. Okay, do you guys, I don't know why the name is escaping right now, but there's a race that have basically aren't in
Kreetok?
like are which, sorry?
Kreetok?
Yes. Yeah. They're totally gonna be cat people.
I thought so too.
Kilrathi?
I
well,
thought
They're
so,
gonna
too.
be they're gonna be the Kilrathi, but they're extinct. There are none left.
yeah.
And it's like a callback to Wing Commander, but they're all gone.
Yeah.
No more cat people.
That's probably what it is. And the Kurthok, they might pull an ultimate fuck you and turn the Kurthok into humans. That would be an epic fuck you. But no, it's not. They're not going to. But I can see it happen.
They actually said a long time ago. I can't even remember when
They're
this
just
was. This is
Xi'an.
like-
They're just the green
this is-
Xi'an versus the red Xi'an versus
this
the
is
blue
like-
Xi'an. You know?
Yeah, like 2 or 3 years ago, CIG actually said in one of the lore segments, in one of the lore Q&As, I think it was 10 for the writers, they basically said that they're not doing like the whole this race spawned all of the other races.
You mean like
They're not doing that
TNG?
shit. Yeah, they said that they're not doing it.
They said it several times in reverse and around the verses that we're not doing the fucking progenitor race. Fuck that shit.
Yeah. No progenitor race.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
But no, I'm interested in Kurthok. I would hope that the Kurthok are the insectoids, because they pulled the name from a mythical beast which was been used in D&D for a long time. The Kurthiks are actually a race in D&D, which are these giant like Zerg looking praying mantis motherfuckers that are great looking. And I'd love to see like a
So it could be a Starship Troopers kind of thing.
Yeah, it could be.
Well, I've had a theory for a while, and this is just something that is in my like, I'd really like this to happen. But we don't really know why the Vanduul are attacking, right? Like the Vanduul are kind of a nomadish race, that there's Vanduul space and they are attacking us from Vanduul space. I'd like it that in like Squadron 42 episode 2 or 3, it's revealed that the Vanduul are actually running from something behind them.
It would make sense,
which is
they're using Rome as an example, and the Vanduuls actually were being pushed by the Huns out of their native territory, which is why they pushed into Roman territory. It was because they were being chased by another people who were in fact themselves being pushed out by the Chinese. So like it was
You two probably just spoiled the whole game.
Probably, but it's like
I've been saying it for years. This has been my theory. I've been saying this theory for like 2 years now.
No, I've agreed with you. I've said the same thing, which is more than likely the reason why the Vanduul are attacking is because they're being pushed. They're being pushed out of their territory, so they have to find new territory. So,
yeah.
Anyways, next question comes from the fourth Oracle. He asks, "Do you think the Reliant core will be balanced to make up for its small cargo hold, or how do you think?" The second seat. That's going to be the key. We don't have any idea what's going on, but the second seat may hold scanning tech, it may hold weapons tech, it may hold something that makes up. The reason why the Reliant Core was interesting was because it's a 2-seater.
Yeah, it's the cheapest 2-seater possible. And
it's vertical too.
right now, keep in mind
the cheapest 2-seater that is actually jump capable, because the cheapest 2-seater possible is actually the 85X now. But yeah.
Yes. But keep in mind, we don't really know all of what a 2-seater can do, because right now turrets suck and they don't really have any additional capabilities. Like, we don't even really know what a Super Hornet can do with 2 people in it. I mean, the person in the turret should be able to look away from their gun and do other things, do scanning, do other stuff, right? Eventually, maybe. We don't know what a second... Like, there's this question of...
We have to wait until Item Port 2.0 is done in order for us to know what's in Item 2.2.0 kind of thing, because they haven't talked about it a lot.
And there's the question of, why would you put a second person in your Super Hornet? Why not just give them another Super Hornet? What makes a Super Hornet with a second person in it better than a Super Hornet and a Gladius?
The only thing I can think of is that the two people can fly in one, so you don't need to use a second ship like that. It's just a passenger seat. That's it.
Well, no, I mean, there's also the advantage of, because we know that the second seat in the other variants, the Kana, the
Mako,
all of them have secondary options. Their job is to do something else. Like in the science variant, it's like they have to. They can do scanning tech and all that kind of stuff. And in the news van, they're actually editing or filming stuff. So we know that the second seat has a purpose in the other variants, which means that in the variant that we have right now, in the core, there should still be a seat, something you can do in that seat other than just be a passenger.
I will say it's a really good thing that Fourth Oracle, the person that asked that question, has actually written an article about that exact subject that will be going up soon.
No TM.
No TM. Alrighty. Next question comes from Wah. He asks a very long question. So, and I know I'm going to let you guys answer this because it's up to you. It's not really our place to answer this, Wah, but we'll do our best to answer it and help you out, because it really is comes down to personal preference. He says, "Hello. So basically, I've got a big darn problem. I can't make up my mind. So I have a Banu LTI, a Vandal Blade LTI, and a Buccaneer LTI. Should I keep them or melt 2 of them and upgrade the Endeavor to the Endeavor Olympic class LTI? I'm very interested in the Endeavor due to the drug labs, but damn, this is hard.
Sure, if that's what you want to do it.
You get rid of it.
I think we need to do a circuit.
$250. Come on.
I think we need to do a circuit here.
I will. All right, I will start. You have a Banu Merchantman, which is a hauler, which is great. You have a Blade, which is a fighter, which is we don't know how it is. It's good. Then you also have another fighter, which is a Buccaneer. You have 2 fighters, and you have a transport. You can easily melt one of the fighters in your Banu to get an Endeavor and essentially get the same kind of concept out of what you would get with a Banu. Not exactly a Banu, because a Banu is unique. It's different from an Endeavor, but you can get some versatility out of it. That might do well for you, but at the end of the day, what matters is what you want to do. If you want to make drugs, get yourself a drug making kit. All right, you be the best damn Heisenberg you can be. But it's there are other. Note that the Endeavor isn't the only mobile drug lab that is available. There will be other mobile drug labs. That's just the one that has the most tech for it.
Won't we be just able to farm on a planet?
Yeah,
like if you want to make drugs,
be able to peddle them drugs. Sure, you can go on the street and you can sell it and make that cash.
We actually know why the Endeavor is better, but it's only been better at doing that for one reason, which is the farming pods can mimic any sun and atmosphere. Whereas on an actual planet, you're limited to what that planet specifically can grow. The Endeavor can grow essentially everything. That's the only.
You can also cheese it from the cops when the cops show up. You can't run away from your farm.
But what I want to say is like, just melt what you can right now, and then buy back the other ship so you have everything.
Yeah, you can easily buy it back. That's the advantage of the buyback system, is that if you melt anything to purchase for your new ones, those other ships are still available for you to purchase. If you're like, I made a terrible mistake, you can still go back and buy that. Not with credit, you have to pay with cash, but you know.
Yeah, the only thing is you have to make sure that you have to, if the LTI shipped on like down like the started what you started with, get the CCU token first before you melt anything.
Yeah, you can always do that. Yeah. You can always, CCU up. You can always CCU up and melt one. Like you can melt your blade and CCU the Banu or whatever. And
that's another option. Yeah.
Get rid of both of your fighters.
Go ahead, Eris.
Yeah.
Get rid of both of your fighters. Buy the Endeavor. Then melt the Endeavor. Pick up one of the fighters you want again. Keep the store credit, and then at some point put more in when you decide if you want the merchantman or fighter, and rebuy the Endeavor using a buyback token. The Endeavor is a great ship. If all you want to do with it is drugs, though, keep in mind you will probably, like Nubifier says, you will probably be able to do drugs and stuff on a planet almost as well. The Endeavor is actually more for exploration and medical. It can do drugs. It can do everything.
It's a combo
modules.
It's a combo.
And it's not 350. It's 350 plus all the schmutz that you need to make it do what you want. So it's probably more like it's probably more like 500 to do what you want.
The base does not include any module things, the modules. So the Endeavor is great, but one of the things a lot of people, and even I've been having problems with lately, is, you know what? What's the point of the game? Give yourself a point. Give yourself something to reach for later in the game. Honestly, don't pick up an Endeavor. Make that your goal. Make it your goal to run drugs up to the point that you can buy your own Endeavor and make your own drugs.
It also has a crew of 16. So how many friends do you think are going to be on all the time? Because you're not going to be making any drugs.
These are life lessons you guys are learning today.
Using the Breaking Bad reference, the Endeavor is the lab that he has at the end of the series.
It's not the trailer.
It's not the Winnebago. It's not the Winnebago. The Winnebago is like the back of a Max or something like that, or like a Beta, like a Mustang, like a Bangstang. That's what the Winnebago is in comparison.
Or CL.
Yeah.
What I did like to say about that too is you have a light scout that's very expensive. The Blade is a very expensive little ship. And you have the Buccaneer, which is a very, very good ship, but it's supposed to be durable. It's supposed to be fast. It's supposed to be a lot of things, but it doesn't have an ejection seat. And there's a bunch of other things that make it kind of janky. So you could take both of those ships or make one of them into melt the Blade, which you could buy back in the future if it turns out to be something you really, really want, and take your Buccaneer and juice it to a Saber or Super Hornet.
You don't have to. You don't have to do Saber and Super Hornet because we have no idea what the Buccaneer is capable of.
Right.
And I myself am a fan of the Buccaneer. I also own one.
I know.
So,
But usually they put ships in capability based on their value, their pledge money, not value. Sorry, that's the wrong word. So for them to keep that balance, the Gladius versus Super Hornet, there's a very, very big difference there in the quantity of guns and the types of shields and armor that it comes with. So just based on that, the Buccaneer is $110. It should fight like $110. If they make it fight like $170 ship, then they're going to ruin the whole point of having that entire tier of dedicated fighter. So there will be a bonus. Like the Saber is stealth, the Buccaneer might glow like a fire or like a road flare. Who knows? Like its IR signature might be totally crazy.
The Buccaneer loses safety.
Yeah,
right. You'll be in character creation more frequently. Sounds like fun. So
that's honestly what it is. Like the Buccaneer is going to be a better ship per dollar than lots of the other ships, but you're going to die.
You're going to die.
Or just get good, son. Just be a good pilot.
Yeah, get good.
Just get
no
good.
matter how good you are, someone will kill you.
There's always the bigger fish.
Yeah.
Quit being a scrub.
So Endeavor, unless you have like 15 people that you hang out with all the time who all want to play the game and want to do nothing but sit on your ship and make drugs, Sure.
I might know people.
Make papers.
Some people who do that.
Make papers. Sorry. Moonshiners, did you have a suggestion?
Get rid of that blade. Blade sucks. I hate it.
I did a video on it. You can
Keep
go
the
watch
Banu.
it.
Banu was awesome. Like you said, make that cash,
Yeah.
get that money.
The Banu. All right. I will say, I really don't think there's anyone who
Banu's
says
sexy.
who doesn't look at the Banu and go, the role and the purpose of the Banu is to be a blockade. A blockade running market. It's
Right.
there's like, if you are in any kind of way, shape, or form and interested in mercantilism, selling shit to people, selling shit to NPCs, or making massive bank, that's the merchantman. Like,
Yeah.
it is the Millennium Falcon mixed with the Serenity mixed with, you know,
A Ferengi warship.
a Ferengi warship. You know, that's what it is. So
So Paul, I think we just had the title for this show. Just buy merchantman.
just fuck everything else. Buy merchantman. You could probably make drugs in a merchantman. Who knows?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That back corner over there.
No, that's where Miserable is. You can't sell you can't get rid of Miserable's corner, because that's how he sells his space Kuma. Next question comes from Bellic. Can I get my beers delivered inside Star Citizen on a Banu Merchantman Astropub? No, you have to go to the Astropub. You can't. I'm not delivering shit to you. You gotta go. You have to show up. Johnny2948 asks, will Test be taking on the Bengal challenge and stuff it with Auroras? Sorry to the Trigger guys, but I guess
Crash
me
into
too.
the sun.
Yes, but we will also crash it into the sun. We will stuff it full of our Auroras and then crash it into the sun with all the Auroras in it. Because that's the only way to taste the salty tears of the
With some Patron.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have a question about Test, actually.
Okay.
Yes.
What do Test, like, are Test going to participate in Operation Pitchfork?
Yes.
Will Test's Auroras block out the sun in Operation Pitchfork?
There are two competing things, and this is very Test.
Yes.
One is called Operation Yaspoon, which is the kind of what the anti-Operation Pitchfork thing was at first. It's Vandal Lives Matter. Or
To
whatever.
align with it. Yeah, there we go. Align with the Vandal.
And the other one is the one that I created, which I still have yet to really promote on Test, which is Operation Knifey Spoony, which is Pitchfork, but with nothing but Auroras. You know. And just do nothing but Auroras and just see the effect of nothing but an Aurora fleet coming at you. Yes, most of us will die. Yes, most of us will die fruitlessly. But those 4 or 5 Auroras that manage to ram into the Kingship's bridge. And stumble out of their ship, rolling backwards in a drunken haze and murder everybody on board. Those people will be remembered as heroes. All right.
Yes.
They're the people who are going to have their own masters of flight ships, right?
Yeah, they're going to have the masters of flight ship, the drunken masters of flight ships, you know?
It's an Aurora with nothing equipped.
A pulled out slaughter bar.
Black and white, Aurora with nothing equipped, $20 more.
Yeah.
Boom.
Instead of a
LTI.
map, it has a bar.
We've taken down their shields.
Yes, just
More
not
beer?
even a bar. Just there's literally just a keg where the equipment
In the bed.
you lean back and go. "Whoa."
Perfect.
CIG, please. Next question comes from Johnny2948. I like the grenade throwing option with rolling and lobbing. Do you think they'll put the throwback mechanic since they'll put in a throwback mechanic since you'll be able to cook grenades? Seems pretty fun. Like throw it backwards.
No, throw it back at the guy who threw it at you. The ability to pick it up and throw it back. Just like
Possibly.
Battlefield 3, I think you could hoof the grenade back at
Call
someone.
of Duty used to be able to do that too. Yeah, you know, maybe. I think it'll depend on what they do. Like, there's literally no reason why not. It's just a matter of animation.
Not even the grenade is an object in game, and they're all going to have animations for leaning down and picking something up from the ground.
It depends on how long it takes to pick something up and how long the trigger on the grenade is, right? Yeah. So in COD's purposely fast. It's like kind of semi-tactical shooter. Someone throws something and it just said hit E to throw it back, and it's like really, really fast. However, Star Citizen, if it takes you 4 seconds to get down and pick it up and then throw it back at someone, then that's probably not a good idea.
I mean, though. So like, say like someone shoot someone who's trying to throw a grenade, but it's in mid motion, and the person falls, and then the grenade rolls out of their hand.
Yeah. Well, another thing I can see is like in Star Citizen, the way they're doing most things, and I'm not sure if they're doing grenades this way, but like you should be able to jump on a grenade and have one person take the brunt of the grenade rather than 4.
Right.
Here's the other thing, is that you got to remember that grenades in tactical FPSs are not killing devices. They're distraction and flushing devices. A grenade in Arma is not something you're going to kill somebody with, but it is something that you throw it and it lands nearby. You're going to try to run away from it because you don't want to get hurt by it. It will kill you if you're right next to it, but the idea is that you throw a grenade in the general direction of an enemy to get them to come out of cover. If you can throw a grenade to get them to come out of cover, then you can shoot them because they have to get out of cover. That's generally that's the reason why the roll mechanic is in there, so you can roll it down a hallway rather than having to toss it. So the rolling means you know exactly where it's going to end up, rather than if you toss it, you may bounce and move around. That kind of stuff. So.
I thought the whole rolling thing was a precursor for them having a mini game for bowling.
Yes, bowling, grenade bowling. Yes, that would be awesome.
Haven't they confirmed bowling alleys on 890 jumps yet?
No, they're on the Polaris already.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And here's another thing. You know it's totally going to be a 4-second animation because they're not going to do like the cheap, press F to throw back. It's literally, you're going to have to, you're going to see your character bend over, pick it up, look at it, and throw it. It's going to blow up in your hand.
Dome's got it.
It's not gonna be like
F to kick the grenade.
F to kick the grenade. Yeah.
Just boot it.
I kind of wonder. They've said actually, what was it? I think they said at one point that you'd be able to like juggle pool
they've already showed you a demo with the grabby hands with the coin.
Well, now
flip.
remember,
But
grabby hands.
right.
Remember, grabby hands doesn't exist anymore.
It's not called grabby hands. But here's my question: If they've
what
shown us being able to throw up a coin and catch, could you catch? Like if someone throws a grenade and you're watching it, could you grab it out of midair?
Sure.
Possibly.
And then throw it back?
Wouldn't you just let it go that way? And
well, I mean, if it's going to hit you, grab it. And throw it.
I just let it keep going.
Well, remember, there are other grenade types. There may be a grenade type where once it impacts the ground, it explodes. So, so you never know.
What about your hand?
Yeah,
you grab that,
and it explodes because it hits your hand. So you may not want to be able to catch it.
But then you go to Endeavor, and they just give you a new hand, a cybernetic hand.
Right.
That is even better.
But you accidentally get onto the drug Endeavor. And you don't get a hand.
You get really, really high.
Well, you get a hand with something else.
You start farming without a hand.
I have a question though. If you get a cybernetic hand and you try to no.
EMP would mess up a cybernetic hand. You don't want one.
And that's the
They've
purpose.
confirmed that.
Yeah, you don't want it.
All right, next
you
question.
You don't want a cyber, but it might also be. Sorry.
Next question comes from Nubsley. He asks, how would you feel if CIG introduced subscription tokens so streamers and friends could give away 1, 3, 6 months insurance of subscription? I like the idea of giftable subscription. I like that idea.
Yeah, why not?
Because
they should do that right now.
Yeah, I mean it's a simple solution. They already have gifting in. Just giving people gifting like a certain months of subscription. People would do it because it would be a great gateway as getting people into subscription. Oh, wait, I get access.
What if they already have it though?
Yeah.
Well, if they did, if I won, let's say,
if I'm giving away a subscription and Noobifier wins it, but he's already got a subscription, does it kind of would it add on to your subscription? Like it kind of makes.
Yeah, sure. But I mean, technically,
so it would dump me to 20 instead of 10 month, 10 a month.
Or if it's reoccurring, you get it already.
Or they just get it in credit. They just give you $60 in credit.
Like you can give someone in game. I'm not in game, but I mean store credit and they can buy their own subscription.
Yeah,
sure. They could, but I mean, I like the idea of giftable subscriptions because it's not something that you can melt. It's something that it has some value in the universe, but it's not something that's.
It's a great idea. It's a great idea. However, it's harder than if I just said, "Here's a starter pack," because if you already have a game package, you just melt it and then it's good. But if I say, "Here, Moonshiner, here's a subscription," and you've already got the $20 per month, then you'd have to go talk to customer support and get them to give the money back. It's just a pain in the ass.
And you can't melt your subscription, right? Like
no, you definitely cannot.
once you buy your subscription, that's your subscription.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't.
Maybe
you can't
don't
walk
roll
it back.
on it. Don't roll on it. Be like, I already have all this. Like, I don't have. I know there's some people who
Roll on
love
everything,
them
man.
giveaways. People
But
love
you gotta
giveaways.
roll on everything.
I'm gonna roll on everything.
How many
Maybe
people
just-
show up?
I'm
How
gonna
many
give
people
it
show up to a
friend.
channel? How many people show up to a channel after the giveaway's already started? They don't even know what's being given away. They're still gonna, type exclamation mark giveeway, right?
Yeah.
Like
Exclamation
enter
raffle.
everything.
Mm.
Yeah, raffle.
Exclamation point waffle. I'm sorry. I don't know. I like the idea. I like the idea of having giftable things like subscriptions and little and things that will matter probably like when we get into the universe. That kind of stuff will probably start mattering a little bit more because hanger flare is nice, but having like hanger flare, like maybe you get like a skin every year, every month that you're a subscriber. That might be like a limited skin that only subscribers get. Because fuck it, it's a cosmetic item. If only subscribers get this one skin, if people bitch, well, I want that skin, then fucking subscribe, you jackass. It's it's $10.
What's going to be interesting is when the hanger flare becomes more than just hanger flare, and it's actually ship flare as well, and you can put it in your ship.
Yeah, that's item 2.0. We gotta wait for that, man.
Yep.
All right, next question comes from Bellic. Have you guys watched/read the MMO economics discussion on Reddit? What are your thoughts on inflation in Star Citizen, and what do you reckon is going to happen? We'll do a
Inflation
roundabout.
in game or
In-game.
actual?
In game, like the actual in-game inflation of prices and stuff like that. Nubifire, go ahead.
Okay, so as far as I understand, the economy is supposed to be simulated and it's going to be regulated. So, I mean, the reality is we basically have to see what's implemented before we comment on it. Like, I have no comment, I guess, because there's nothing to talk about. Hasn't been made yet.
I hope it's like highly regulated. You don't want to see things get bolstered up. Some guys. I mean, some people love like playing the markets, and that's the game that they want to play. You see this like in other MMOs, messing with auction houses and stuff like that. Hopefully, again, they just kind of regulate it and stay on board with it, and have the NPCs kind of balance out everything. So and they've said that they were going to do that. If something gets priced too high, that the NPCs would come in and fix the market like a little bit. This way, you can strictly control it.
Fast card.
Yeah, more what the Moonshiner said. As far as I still know, whatever the player base is, they're going to be 10 times more NPCs. So I think the economy will be regulated like that. But I am afraid, like like maybe 5 or 10 years down the line, if the game lasts that long, we'll see like an EVE Online thing where everything is just jacked up in price no matter what, because that's just how it is after a while.
Yeah,
everything becomes more expensive in game.
Harris?
But we have our out for that.
At the end of the day, the most important thing to remember is 10-1 AI versus players. Players will be able to affect small things, and like something like test would be able to get together and maybe grossly inflate one commodity in one system, but the game will correct for that. And that's what they've been making the entire time. That's why they've got people like Tony Zurevec on board, because that's what he's doing. He designed the economy, and that's kind of what he does. And it's the idea that it's not just a player-driven economy. Most MMOs, it's just a player-driven economy because the NPCs don't do anything. They stand there. Star Citizen's going to be different because it's going to be an AI-driven economy. And I don't think we're going to have to risk the kind of inflation you see in other games.
No.
Here's the big thing, is honestly, when it comes to the inflation, is I don't think CIG's current platform works, and I think they're going to need to change things. I'm a big proponent of cosmetic currencies for games, like secondary currencies. I know a lot of people hate them because they immediately say they think it's, but it's worked in EVE fairly well, and it's worked in other well. The problem about Star Citizen is it's so heavily based on economics that anytime you input player money, like actual cash for in-game cash, it becomes a problem. And I think it's not feasible right now for what they're just funding the game, let alone having an economy that functions properly. I think there are many ideas out there for it, but luckily, CIG doesn't have to fucking worry about it because their economy model isn't in game yet. So when we start seeing the economy model actually starting to come in, that's when, especially in alpha, that's when us as Star Citizen fans can come in and say, CIG, this is what we're concerned about with the economy. And CIG will do what it usually does. Hopefully they have learned, but they'll ignore us for about 3 or 4 months. And then eventually when the screaming becomes too much, they'll go, fine, fuck it, what do you want to say? And then they'll listen to us. Because unfortunately, I love CIG, but that's one of the issues is their communications, they have a bit of a communications breakdown every once in a while. Like, Chris is focused on an idea, or the designer's focused on an idea, and they don't want to change it. And they may take input from the players, but they really don't listen to the community until eventually the screaming becomes so much that they go, okay, fine, what are you thinking about? And then usually there's some sort of compromise that gets hashed out at some point. But that being said, it's an interesting discussion, but it's too early.
Too early.
Discussion. We'll see it in 3.0. We'll see the start of it at 3.0, because that's when cargo and trade running and all that type of game mechanic is in. So that's why I said I don't have an opinion, because I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen what they're thinking about yet. And as soon as we see that first iteration, then we can start commenting on it and try to guide it to where it would make more sense for us.
And that's an important point to note, is that, I mean, we're playing this in alpha, and it's not like a week-long alpha or a week-long beta like many other games do. This is a constantly running alpha. And yes, we don't have an economy in game yet because it's not there yet, but that's going to be hitting in 3.0. Mm-hmm. And then CIG have essentially what is the largest Q&A department in video gaming.
Yeah. And then we get the subsumption comes in, and then you start to pay AI to do certain things. So that's when the economy is going to be more fleshed out to a point where I feel comfortable to give an opinion on it, because I'm not a Chris Roberts whisperer. I don't know what's going on in his head. So
all I know from what Chris Roberts has said is that keep in mind the AI is going to be more important than PvP. Other than that, we can't know.
Because if gold gets too expensive, the AI is going to start to get chintzy on how much he pays you to try to regulate everything, and that's fine, because I don't want one org to be able to take over one sector and just ruin the game, right? Well, not even test anybody.
All right, so
I know. Why is all this test hate for? Come on.
They hate us because they hate us.
I haven't read the Reddit thread, because if someone can link that in chat or something like that, I would appreciate it. So
let me change something real quickly. Sorry, my voice is apparently cutting out on stream, so I'm going to I think it's a Twitch issue, because when they said my voice is cutting out and they actually showed it, it's not on my program end, and on you guys can still hear me. So
you sound fine for us.
It's a Twitch. So there's some issue with Twitch that's going on right now with the cutting out thing. However, what I will say is that the one thing that people are going to have to get used to, and people are going to get pissed, but they're going to have to get used to it, which is the reason why I've been saying it ever since the Captain's Table's been live. Your constellation is not worth the money you paid for it.
Agreed.
Take that out of your brain. Every ship you paid is not worth the money you paid for it. If you sit here and think, they should make at least $300 for this, worth of time for this ship because I paid $300 for it, guess what? Someone's going to find that shit in 5 minutes, or they're just going to shoot you in the head and take yours. And guess what? You're done. Yep. You've lost that ship, and that's theirs. Get used to it. Yeah, you get a replacement, but now they have a ship for free. Like, the answer is that the ships will not be at the same value as they would be in the as you paid for them. So that's the reason why I've always cautioned people for buying ships. Like, if you're buying a ship, do it because you want to back the game, because you're willing to spend the money in the game, and you're okay with the fact that ship is not worth the money you're paying for it.
Yeah, do it because you're getting $300 of enjoyment out of the ship, not necessarily that
because
you think
it's worth $300.
It's a BMW instead of a Corolla or something.
Get an Aurora, get a game package, and you're done.
That's all you need.
Anything more that you spend on this game is about supporting the game and its development. If you want, just
absolutely.
Sorry. I was going to say, the ships are so pretty. I like my game.
Hey, you know what? And that's okay. I mean, there are people who spend more money on weird things. People spend thousands of dollars on League, all right, and League of Legends. You know, they are almost entirely based off of the cosmetic skins that they sell. And people are okay with purchasing hundreds and thousands of dollars worth of skins over the course. Look at freaking Overwatch. Overwatch is the same thing. People will spend thousands of dollars on skins and on tags because it's pretty. And at the end of the day, it doesn't fucking matter. That's what people want to do. Give it to them. So if you want to spend thousands of dollars on internet spaceships, so long as you're okay with the understanding that that ship is going to change, it's not actually worth $300 or anything else, and that you're, what you're doing is you're backing the game, you're giving more money towards the game, then yeah, that's fine. It's the same concept as everything else.
Somewhere there's going to be a 16-year-old who has no job and it's his summer vacation. He's going to get that reclaimer that you spent $350 on. He's going to get that in 2 hours because he's got nothing else to do.
I don't know about
Accept
2
it.
hours, but I
Well, 2 days. Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying. It's like just accept that you're paying the money because you want to and because you want to support the game. That's what it's about.
Yeah, no, and a lot of people don't get that, and they have the wrong mindset, and I think it's something that needs to understand about that. All right, next question. This is from blank. They didn't put a name on it, but what do you think the longest time someone should be traveling in quantum due to travel the entire diameter of a solar system? The average. Well, each solar system is different. They're different sizes, but no, solar like one system
at quantum.
Yeah.
At quantum. Wait, quantum.
Right now at quantum, there's the last time they said that Stanton to go from one end of the Stanton to the other is 20 minutes.
Yeah,
they've been saying about 20 minutes to half an hour.
That's a millimeter of like big map.
Yeah, but he's talking about the solar system, but like the different systems, like a Stanton system, your average system. How long should it take? And it will vary depending on where you go, but probably anywhere between 20 minutes and an hour. That makes sense.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I'm okay with half an hour being like the standard, and then there being larger systems and smaller ones.
Because you're never gonna go from the edge of a system to the edge of a system, because that's stupid. Like no one's just gonna go from
people will do it.
Yeah, but like for fun.
People are going to walk around planets,
Yeah.
4 years later.
But my point is that they'll do those for fun. It's not like a required thing. You're never going to be required to go from one end to the other. If you're going to go somewhere, you're going to go between Crusader and Artcore or Hurston and a jump point. Like you're never going to.
So it shouldn't feel like a job, but it should feel deliberate, like you're going somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that takes time. It's not
it can't be a 5-minute trip. It can't be a 5-minute jump end to end.
It can't be No Man's Sky.
Wouldn't
but
5 minutes be a
Armine.
long time though? Like I don't like if like you're going from like Stanton to
5 minutes is a long time in game.
That's a long time,
but
that's gonna be a very long time. If we're looking at for 20 minutes, I'm gonna go crazy.
We're probably more than likely.
You ever play Freelancer?
That is nuts. That's gonna be crazy. Like you're coming into like a new system, like you come to a jump point. Let's say like the jump point is like on the edge of the system, and you have to get to like the second planet. If I have to wait 20 minutes, you're gonna have to Moon. You're gonna have to stop, and you're gonna also have to get fuel on the way to do that.
Yeah, you're gonna have to fuel up. There's gonna be like jobs, right?
There's going to be.
Have you guys played Freelancer?
Yeah,
what if it's an Aquila? What if it's an Aquila with
hang on
odds?
here. Freelancer is an excellent example of this because you know what? It might not always be you have to fuel up. It might not be this. It might be though that as you're flying along, there's a signal over there. Some pirates attack.
Same thing with Elite
something
Dangerous.
happens. Stuff happens. It's not going to be just 20 minutes of my ship is flying. I am sitting here. This is boring.
On top
what
of
shall
that,
I do?
On top of that, you also have things like the Spectrum you can read and other things. There'll be other events. They've even talked about in-game games. I mean, the game that I created a game for their game challenges called Stellar, which they chose as one of those games that could be added into the universe at some point as an actual card game that people would play, or kind of a game you could play on ships. There are other, and then there we already know that there's some in-game like card games and stuff like that, which will also be added as well as you're never going to just be flying. You also might be tinkering with your engine or your shields, or trying to get in contact with your somebody in the area. But yeah, no, it's
scanning actively all the time because I'm carrying thousands of UEC of goods, and at any point a bunch of pirates might attack, and I better know if they're coming.
I just want to say I'm going to be the first person in Stanton to do it in 12 parsecs. That's all.
It's supposed to take a long time because these systems are large, and I don't want it any other way. I don't want them to be small systems, because if it's small systems, then it's a small game. Like the entire game is about taking PC game and taking what you can do in space, in a space game, and taking it to the max, and making procedural planets that are literally a quarter the size of an actual planet. That is absolute madness. Who the hell thought it up?
Here's the thing. At the end of the day, there are going to be a lot of not doing anything moments, and that's going to happen. It's going to and that's what defines. There's a couple of different articles that I've seen where they talk about how the non-action moments are the moments that define games, because a game is just a series of events that you do in many times repeated, but it's the times where you're not fighting orcs or fending off space pirates or trying to puzzle your way through a trapped room.
Yeah.
That those moments, those quiet moments where you're enjoying what's around you or talking with other people or doing something else, those are the moments that will define your experience for the long term in a game. And I think Star Citizen is going to be one of those games that's going to excel in those quiet moments. So,
one, you've got the people, like, talk to people in your spectrum, right? Mm-hmm. Talk to people in your org, hang out with them. 2, the Fallout 3, the moment I remember most is walking out of the vault and just being blinded and then seeing everything sort of zoom in. The moment I remember most from Red Dead Redemption is when you first cross over into Mexico and you're walking on your horse, and it's just, there's no combat, there's no anything. It's just, there's guitar going and you're riding that is my moment from that game. You know, and I don't think it has to be about combat all the time. It's
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. So that's generally what you experience. Let's see. And I think that's what the key is that there are going to be long quantum jobs, and there will be lots of times where you're going to have to wait for your shit to get loaded into a cargo bay, because that's a part of the slow down and shut the fuck up, and also, hey, we need to balance the gameplay elements out, so you don't have people showing up and being like, instantly all of your cargo is added, go, kind of thing. You know, there's going to be some mechanics that'll slow you down.
It's probably going to take like an hour, maybe 2, to fully fill up a hull E.
A whole E, yeah. But I mean, like a freelancer. A freelancer is going to take 10, 15 minutes, you know, something like that. You know, maybe 5.
But a hull E, keep in mind, like a hull E, you're going to set it to fill up, and you're going to go and do something else.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I mean, each ship, like going from hull C to hull E, they're probably going to have more workers to make it go faster. Like, you're not going to have as many workers filling up a hull C as you would as a hull E. So I think it'll even out.
All right, so we're past the time that we started in, so we're gonna kind of go through a lightning round real quickly. Most of the stuff is pretty quick, anyways. First question comes from Unknown. Do you think 4.0 will mark the beginning of alpha? If so, when do you think it will be beginning of beta? We're already in alpha. 4.0, it marks the kind of the completion of alpha, I think.
I think people still are under the impression that this is still pre-alpha.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, we're beyond pre-alpha.
Alpha.
I'm just saying. I think that's the impression some people have.
Yeah.
2.0 was the start of alpha. Before 2.0 was pre-alpha.
Yeah.
Shingara, I guess is how you say it. I was wondering if you noticed what appeared to be the Aegis Reclaimer in the Expo video, and your thoughts on the fact that it was landed. Do we know it's coming in 3.2, but do we think it will be changed from concept? I'm cool. It was cool to see it. I think the reason why I was in the distance is because it's not fully rendered. So
right.
But
it looks so happy.
Do you think it'll change from the concept? Probably. Everything will change for a little bit from the concept.
Everything's changed from. It's huge.
Yeah, it's massive.
Yep.
I mean, the only thing that hasn't changed from concept is Saber, because only we got it when it was flight ready.
Yeah.
The Reclaimer is bigger than a Polaris.
Well, it's supposed to be able to shred a javelin, so I hope so.
Yeah.
Oh, it's huge. I love it.
Eris may or may not want to play Garbage Man with his
garbage woman.
Thank you, Garbage Woman. I will not assume your Star Citizen character's gender anymore. Shrizid asks, do you think the cat will get missile modules? The artist on ships of 2.6 mentioned they briefly about but no information. Thoughts? I think those modular shit was going to get more modular, especially as it goes along.
Right.
Yes. So they're talking about having a center module that is just a weapon system. I don't know. Considering they're getting away from us having docking modules, I would even think that we might not even see a docking module on the Caterpillar. Never mind missiles, because you think about like a Hull E with nothing but missiles on it. I mean, that sounds fun for the pilot. You're like, yeah, okay, but the reality is that could be game breaking, and I don't think that they could balance it, and I don't think they'll let that type of craziness into the game.
No, I
It's
think,
like how they've. Sorry.
I say if it is, it's going to be very janky. It'll be it'll work, but you get 2 missiles. Yeah, like you get 2 torpedoes. Good luck.
It's not going to be like a God gun that just now your Drake Caterpillar is now a Polaris.
Yeah,
It's like how they've said you can't use a hull. Like, yes, you could store dragonflies in crates on a Hull B, but you can't launch them from it.
4,000 of them at once.
Yeah.
like you might be able to carry 300s in a whole C, you know, inside those little containers.
But it's not a Trojan horse.
No.
It's
No.
not going to be
You can't launch them.
surprise.
No.
You know, now
And even if you could launch them, you would never get to be able to dock them again. You're
and
like,
I wouldn't want to sit in a sea container for 5 hours of gameplay waiting for someone to attack us.
yeah.
So, do you think Test will do that someday?
Yes, we'll do everything someday. That's how
Don't
it
you
works.
think the Test would just fly a Hull E with no escorts, just one person flying them around, and everyone else inside waiting, and someone attacks, and just 700 crates of dragonflies open up?
I don't know. I don't know if that's Test. I think that's too clever for Test. It's probably something more like more like I don't know, Imperium or those guys might do that.
It's okay. I will give Test the idea.
Yeah.
They don't have to think about it.
We're
The
stealing
thing
your
is-
idea, Iris.
The thing is, Tech would do it, but they would stream it, so it wouldn't be a surprise.
It wouldn't be a surprise because everyone would see the stream. Yeah. All right. Next question comes from Fatal Magi. Do you guys think the lock-on ships will be implemented in patch?
What?
The lock-on ships, or when do you think the lock-on ships will be implemented in a patch?
Oh, to lock the door?
Oh, the locks. Yeah, those locks. 3.0.
Yeah.
That's item system 2.0 stuff.
Yeah.
That's all item system 2.0.
It's either in 2.6 or 3.0, and we'll see.
You're
in
gonna
3.0.
for that to work, you're gonna need to be able to assign your friends or other people access or no access.
Which means we need better. Means we need better frame systems.
So
we need better UI.
don't
All that
expect
stuff
that
is
for a
not
while.
going to be.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
and it doesn't matter because you're not paying for the ship anyways. Like if someone buggers off with your ship, I mean, yeah, okay, you got a timeout, but it's not like real money is being stolen from you, and it's frustrating. But next time, get to your ship fast and leave.
yeah.
with it.
I think 3.0 or 3.1 we'll probably see some kind of implementation of that. But again, I'm also of the belief that 3.0 is not going to come until June, May.
Yeah.
You know, and the reason why I believe that is because they've got a lot of content that they need to get done in terms of just the landing zones that aren't even finished yet. So we need to get the landing zones in, and I'd rather them take their time and get landing zones and get everything working properly than rush it at the end like really quickly so they can get it out. That way, when it releases, it's an experience that people can have. And
I just thought of something awesome that when we get the ability to lock our ships, that someone's able to hack the ship and lock the owner out of their own ship and then fly off with it.
Yeah.
Eventually, yeah.
That has to go in the game.
They've been working on 3.0 since April, so I'm still.
Auntie asks, "Will the bar have trivia nights with prizes?" Yes, we are. We used to have the bar quiz, the pub quiz here at the pub, but we give away stuff, but no one actually participated, so that became a
Really?
next. Yeah,
That's disappointing.
We had a smaller community back then though, so we
should
might
do that again.
Brimston66 asks, I'm not sure how hangars are going to work when the game is released. Will we be given a location arbitrarily in some system? Also, will provision be made for large organizations with communal hangars? So they have said there's going to be org hangars, and they said that you will be able to choose the location of your starting hangar based on several different factors, depending on the size of your hangar and the type of your hangar. The cheaper your hangar is, the more likely it'll be able to be found anywhere else. The more expensive, there will be very fewer places that will have expensive. And the only thing that's different is the VFG industrial hangar, which is an asteroid hangar, so it can only be found in places that have asteroid mining.
So
I think
no, go ahead.
That's right. Like I think hangar like the Rebel in New York would be easily found on Terra and Earth, and and the asteroid hangar would be obviously found in the asteroids. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're not gonna find like a Rebel in York hangar in like Hurston.
No.
You know, because it's
So what I was going to say is we're going to see it. Like, didn't they say that we're going to see the first iterations of hangars in Grimhex coming up soon? That we're going to be able to land and get out and dock our ships and everything like that.
Yeah.
So
I think that's also like 3.0, 3.1 kind of stuff.
yeah.
So, next question comes from Bellic. EMP nets for trapping, pulling people out of quantum drive. Discuss. We're not going to really discuss it. It's already been talked about. Machines.
They've confirmed that will exist. They haven't said how it will happen, but they've confirmed that it will exist. I think there was actually a hint that it might use gravity somehow. Like you'd create kind of a gravity well, and then the ship would get too close to the gravity well and be pulled out, but we don't know. But they have said that yes, you will be able to pull people out of quantum.
I have a non-sequitur confirmation. We hit CIG has hit 136 million.
Nice.
There we go.
Awesome.
There we go. Before we ended.
Told you.
Deathos just posted that in the questions. Johnny2948 asks, do you think the Caterpillar will make 2.6? I really want to see mine in Kovalex Red one day. Kovalex Red one day. In Kovalex Red, like the things. Yeah, they said it's going to be 2.6. I don't know if it's going to be flyable, but it'll definitely be hangar ready in 2.6.
I'm just going to say we have never seen it actually do anything in engine yet other than sit down. So we've seen the Aquila flying around in demos. So I would say no, I wouldn't expect to see it flyable in 2.6. Maybe they'll give it to you in hangar, but we're supposed to get other stuff in hangar, and they don't normally do like 7 ships.
They did say it's one of the ships of 2.6, so it is coming out in 2.6. Yep. We just don't know if it's hangar or if it's flyable. My guess is it's hangar, not flyable.
Yeah.
Which is still cool.
Yeah,
but Nova Fire, even if it's sitting down and doing nothing, it looks pretty, and that has to come with something. It looks very pretty.
It does look very pretty. Next question. Go ahead.
Also, it probably doesn't really need to be flyable in 2.6. 2.6 still doesn't have much for it to do.
Yeah.
Right. No cargo.
No cargo.
It'll be flyable 3.0 I'd say. But
they've already confirmed it
or
being
3.1.
Yeah, they confirmed it 3.0.
Yeah, we don't need it flyable in 2.6 because
other than be looking cool, but it's a massive ship.
Oh, it'll look cool, but whatever.
You can do that in your hangar. Next question comes from Deathos. Just to confirm, Star Citizen Life Fund raised 136 million. I can't even say it right. With 1.6 million Star Citizens. Bozo Rex asks, what are your thoughts on the homestead housing, and when and where do you plan on putting them? Love you all. Well, let's wait and see what they actually do with it, because they haven't even confirmed that we'll be able to do it with anything.
They have.
Yeah, but they've
said we'll be able to do things with it. They haven't said what we'll be able to do.
Yeah, they haven't said that we'll be able to build anything yet. They said that there'll be places we can like take over to a degree, or
they've said that you'll be able to. I think Chris said
they said that they're working on the ability for you to be able to build stuff, but it's not in game, and there's no confirmation that it'll be released even when the game officially goes live. So
if only we had a site where we could just go and look this stuff up.
If only that were up still.
Next question. Next question comes from Twilight Moon 84. What kind of defense should pirate bases have to prevent griefing?
Pirates don't go on defense.
Yeah.
Okay, so what he's talking about is the guy that parks over Grimhex and kills ships as they spawn.
Pirate bases will still have defenses. They'll have auto turrets and stuff like that.
They should. Okay, so that's the only real way of doing it. But then the game mechanic has to register that a guy is shooting ships just spawn. He shoots it, and then he gets blown up. That would be the only real way to take care of that.
What you'll do is you'll have a system like they already have they showed off in the Gamescom demo, where you have to like radio say, hey, I want confirmation to land, and they'll be like, all right, cool, this is your pad, go to this pad. And if you radio and you say this is your pad, come into the pad, and you start shooting, they just blow you up automatically. Or if you don't say anything, then they attack you. That's how it works.
And that's pretty easy to implement.
Even pirate bases will have AI, and the AI sitting there at the control tower is going to have a job of getting people to land, and 2, not letting some idiot blow everyone up, and
also preventing the fuzz from coming in, like alerting
Yes.
everyone about the fuzz. And so they're going to have weapons to defend themselves against the police or from some military incursions. And in order to do that, they're going to need AI who will have those kind of situations. So they've already said that they're planning on putting in turrets and missiles and weapons and all that kind of stuff, which will be in game soon. They just need to finish Item Port 2.0, and they need to finish up the AI systems.
Subsumption.
All right,
Subsumption is really all that's holding the game back.
the last question of the night. If you ask a question after this, I apologize. We're not going to be able to take it. Are you optimistic about a 2016 3.0 PTU launch? Are you optimistic or not? Okay, I am not.
It's not realistic.
Not really.
Moon
It's
2016 PTU launch. I mean,
for 3.0.
besides what they said with 3.0. No.
See?
Eris.
Completely optimistic it will happen.
Okay. We'll see.
We will see, but considering it's been in development since April, considering it's being worked on by completely different people that are working on 2.6, considering it actually requires less than 2.6, and probably at this point all they really have to do is finish up 2.6 and finish up the first-person movement ported into the 3.0 build, because the 3.0 build is really working on stuff that they already had in 2.0. I don't see an issue.
The biggest issue is integration. The integration takes time, and it takes the issue is time and integration. We have less than, let's see, it's all right. So it's November 26, 2016. They have 5, 10, 15 working days left in the year.
Yeah.
That's it.
And we're going to get 2.6 apparently at 8.
Yeah.
8 December, according to the current metrics.
So then if they mix that metric, that means that they will have them from 9th. And so they have 6 days left in their working year, because their last day of operation is the 16th. They come back on the 2nd.
Right before Christmas. So,
Wait,
you know.
Remember, like previous years, they've already worked up until New Year's, and they put out like a major patch, like
But they
on December 24th.
But they worked on their own, and they usually were about a week before. They have a 2-week break that most of the major producers get, unpaid producers and game developers get off. Yes, they did work, but they worked on their own, and they were working mostly with a game that had already been released, and they needed to fix it. That was what they've done in the past.
We'll see what happens. I know that most people disagree with me. I firmly believe that 3.0 is very possible this year.
What I would say is,
I hope so.
I hope people manage their expectations in the sense that they don't think that 3.0 is coming out this year, because if it does come out, then we'll all be very happy that it comes out.
Yeah.
But if we manage our expectations a little bit better, then we understand that it's going to take some time, even though CIG won't ever confirm it, because that's how they roll. Because they're optimistic as well. Then it's fine, so long as we manage our expectations and are happy with getting 2.6, we're fine. Or understand that we're gonna, if you're only here to play 3.0, then come back, in January, February, and figure out what's going on. And even if you do that, guess what? If 3.0 launches in December and you come back in February and 3.0 is launched in December, you still have 3.0 in February. So like that's the kind of
I will say, don't hold your breath for it, but at the same time, and this is where the majority of my optimism comes from, is the number of people that even 2 weeks ago were saying that there's absolutely no chance that 2.6 comes out in December. And
I was saying that it was coming out in December. Like I firmly believe that 2.6 is coming out in December. I think a lot of people believe that as well.
And then they launched the timeline, and then they told us with a timeline that it's going to come out. So, but nowhere on that does it say that 3.0 is coming out.
Nope. I think that's what they want us to surprise us with, because they've surprised us with something every year at the end of the year.
So Eris is saying it's going to be there's going to be no Evocati, no PTU.
Right.
They're just going to drop. They're going to just drop 3.0
straight to launch.
Right to launch on the 16th. So
I'm not saying it's going to be smart.
Yeah.
Well, they won't do it.
We'll see.
They won't do it, because then all the people that want to learn and play are going to get a busted game, and then it's going to fuck everything. So they won't do it.
We'll see.
It's not like they haven't released a bunch of game before.
Yeah, but they've also
learned from that.
year.
They've gone on record saying that they don't like that idea, and
Of course not.
And they've
It looks bad. It makes people pissed off.
Hey,
all right.
We've all made our predictions.
Yes.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see. All right. Now, on that note, I want to thank everyone for coming in to the cast. We'll have another one next Next week, as usual, at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, and 11 p.m. GMT. You're always welcome to come by. This will be put up on YouTube and on Podbean. The reason why the last one hasn't been on YouTube is because I actually put it on YouTube, but I was waiting for tags to put it up on, and I haven't received it. So what I'm going to do is after this, I'm going to go put the tags on from the previous ones onto the to that one and release it. And this will be uploaded tomorrow. It'll be on both the last episode and this episode will be on Podbean sometime during the week. So if you guys want to listen to this on there, but like I say every night, and hope to see you guys all again soon. But if we don't, we'll hope to see you someday in the black. Have a good night, guys.
Yeah. Later, guys.